The reason why they use DNA from the cells of other humans and other animals in vaccines is to trigger an autoimmune reaction. Now, I'm going to set this up for everybody.
I mean, I feel sick.
This is to make you aware. This is the autoimmune industry complex. Inject people without them asking or knowing DNA from other species and other humans into their body. You will wreck their immune system and create autoimmune diseases for life. Do you want to know how I know it?
No.
Real simply. Have you ever heard of a person getting an organ transplant?
Sure.
Yes.
Name an organ that they like to transplant.
Kidneys.
Kidneys are a good one. Yep. Kidneys, liver, hearts, right? You get all these, right? Lungs for pulmonary fibrosis. They have lots of organs they do transplants from. When a person you've ever known gets an organ transplant, that organ is coming from another human.
Yeah.
So they're finding someone who died or has sacrificed their own organ, and they're going to put that organ inside of your body. Let's give the kidney, for example. When they do that and they wake you up from the surgery, they then immediately prescribe to you 10 to 15 drugs for life that are called anti-rejection drugs.
Okay.
Your immune system's going to reject the organ and kill it. Why? Your immune system knows it ain't yours.
Foreign, yeah.
So it's going to go attack it. After it creates antibodies that totally destroy that organ, if you weren't on those drugs, that organ that you just received from somebody else has the DNA structure of kidneys. Guess what happens after it gets done attacking that kidney? It's going to be, those antibodies are floating around in your body looking for what?
Kidneys?
Kidney cells, kidney tissue. They are going to then start attacking your kidneys, and you will develop autoimmunity of your kidneys, chronic kidney failure, and you will be on dialysis for life.
Jeez.
The body, we know, will reject and destroy any tissue that's foreign that isn't your DNA. This is a great design by God, by the way. Don't put other DNA in your body.
Right.
So now you put Cocker Spaniel DNA inside of a 6-month-old. You put hepatitis B inside of a 12-hour-old baby.
Yeah.
And you set them up for autoimmune diseases lifelong. This is why you get juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile diabetes,
Yes.
SIDS. Why did you get all these conditions of autism? This is
So
what they're
many
doing.
more diseases malfunction. Like autoimmune diseases or something that you just don't hear about now. It's like everybody. It's common. You're everywhere.
Oh, everybody in the audiences, have you ever wondered why it is so many children and adults are allergic to eggs? 7 out of the 9 flu vaccines have what's called ovalbumin, or by name egg protein. Well, I looked that up. I wanted the world to see, why is there egg white in every one of these flu vaccines? Egg whites.
In the flu vaccine.
In the flu vaccine, 7 of the 9. So I looked it up. I wanted to know what eggs
It's
do
not
this
an
come
angel
from.
food cake.
I want to know what eggs, what egg whites from what animals are inside these flu vaccines. All right, so for the first 70 years of vaccine production, they were actually cultured in chicken eggs. They would actually inject. Judy Mikovits used to make them, vaccines at the NIH, injecting the substrate into chicken eggs to culture whatever it is they're trying to grow, that they then put in a syringe and inject inside of you. Any chicken egg protein they inject inside of you as a baby, you will develop lifelong egg allergies to. Just so you know, in the last 20 years, it's no longer chicken eggs.
What is it?
It's snake eggs.
Oh, you're kidding.
90% of all vaccines are manufactured in China, and look it up. There's documentaries about this all over. They are called Chinese snake villages, and they just culture snake eggs for the pharmaceutical giants in China to manufacture 90% of all of our vaccines that we receive in America.
What is the deal with snakes?
So chicken DNA, snake DNA. Do you want to know why there's so much autoimmunity, so many actual disease states, chronic illnesses in Americans? You're injecting foreign DNA that doesn't belong to you into you. And as long as you stay ignorant and blissfully happy to follow blindly the faith of your white coat authority figures, who don't know anything either, these little booklets will be very powerful. And I want everybody buying them and then giving them to their MDs after they can't answer your questions because none of them have a clue.
This is a victory for the true believer.
Our budget is now in surplus. We are back in the black. We are back on track.
We will decide who comes to this country and the circumstances in which they come.
Socialists don't like ordinary people choosing, for they might not choose socialism.
120 years ago, our country had the world's highest per capita income. What the hell happened?
You don't research properly, you don't know your information, and you will put out lies about me. Well, I've had enough of that.
We're coming for you, globalist! Coming for you!
G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode of Commanding the Narrative, and here we are in the new Commanding the Narrative studio. Thank you to everyone who is joining us. If you are watching this on Facebook, Rumble and YouTube, you can also contribute to tonight's conversation, and if you are really feeling up to it, you can hit that link to StreamYard. We want to hear from you. Call in and let's have a conversation. You can ask a question or just make a comment or yell at Richard. We want the last one most of all. If you could yell at Richard, that would be fantastic. And now, apparently, there is an outage with Facebook at the moment. If you are watching this on Facebook on your phone, you can still get access, but apparently there's some problems with the desktop apps around the world and also Instagram. A way around that is to use incognito mode on your browser. So that's how we got around it tonight.
Thank you, AI.
Yeah, thank you, AI, for steering me in the right direction. But here we are. We've got here the great panel here on the show. I could have, new studio, new area. I could have tried to get a big name guest, but I thought, no, you have to stick with the people that brought you to the dance. And the first one was Mr. Adam Zahra. We started this podcasting 4 years ago now.
4 years ago, mate. Wow.
So here you are, Councillor Adam Zahra now. He's come a long way, and also a small business owner, which we talked about last week with Steve Christou. But how are you going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, mate. And congratulations on building and finally getting it done. It looks really, really good.
Taking a big effort, and but here we are, and hopefully we've got a few little tweaks and things coming when I get a bit more money.
That's all right. So make sure you buy him a coffee, all right? He's worked really, really hard on this. It looks really, really good.
Yeah. Mr. Buono.
Stephen.
You're looking good in your new ABG cap.
Thank you for giving me 10 minutes ago. Yeah, in your new studio. Real spick and spam.
How do you like it, mate?
Good, mate. Good, yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Smells fresh paint.
Yep.
Yeah, lights and cameras.
A few more cameras would be nice, but we'll see how we go over the next few months and years.
Lighting, it feels like I'm in Hollywood.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Chromaville.
Yeah.
And Mr. Richard Storch.
Stephen, thank you for having me.
You fired up tonight?
Of course.
You are.
One of my favourite subjects, how much the government is taking from us all.
Oh, that's true. Yes. I mean, it's a topic of conversation wherever I go lately, whether I go into the shops or, speak to people at work or even just anywhere, really. Everyone's talking about how much they're getting taxed and everything. What's this book doing there on the table?
It's...
We don't even know what that book is.
Well, that's the subject of a future podcast.
Oh, okay. I'll just move that over. Putting everything together. Got to have stuff laying around everywhere. Okay, so let's kick it off. And I guess the best way to follow us is by heading to commandingthenarrative.com. You don't have to worry about Facebook outages or anything like that. So it's commandingthenarrative.com, and you'll find all the podcasts that we've done recently up on the website, like the one we had last week with Steve Christou. Adam was on it as well, and also Michael Angelkovic. Mate, I really enjoyed that one, Adam, with Steve Christou and Michael. They were fantastic.
It was just good to speak to them, and they're good guys, and, they're trying their own way to make a big difference in their local communities. Michael Angelkovic's been fighting for many years in Liverpool, and then Steve Christou's been going hard in Cumberland. So he's always out there calling out some of the dodgy stuff that's going on, and I think it was, they're good personalities too. That makes it a lot easier as well. When you can bounce off people and things like that. So if you ever see them in the public, make sure you say good day and let them know how you're going, and they might be able to help you.
Yeah,
Steve should be going a long way in the future, hopefully.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, he's always having a go, isn't he?
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of heat online, but he can dish it out and can give it back, which is good. He's
still young in politics, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He likes all that.
He loves it.
He really does. Off camera, he's like, I'm going to get him. And, and he tries really hard. So he's doing really good.
Now, if, as Adam said, I mean, if you want to help out in any way, please head to Buy Me a Coffee. It helps to pay for the stream, it helps to pay for the website, and also gives me a very warm and fuzzy feeling inside. And it will also help us upgrade this studio a little bit more as well. Hopefully get some lighting and some cameras and different things like that. So if you want to see a conservative platform out there I don't really claim to be conservative, but I suppose that's how people would view us. A conservative platform where we can have conservative viewpoints and discussions and arguments and debates. This is hopefully going to be the platform for that. We'll still be doing the one-on-one interviews, no doubt, online, but hopefully we can have more in-person conversations with different types of people.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because it's a big room and you got a studio desk too. It's fascinating. But when you have your one-on-ones with people from overseas, how are you going to condense that in? Are you?
Oh, I'll figure that. I'll probably just do it from the old.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was only just thinking just now, how are you going to do one-on-one interviews?
I could probably. I'll play around with it. Yeah. So
the camera would have to
move the camera closer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just be interesting because it's a beautiful studio, boys and girls.
Yeah,
for sure.
Hopefully people are enjoying the new venue. Lastly, before we get into it tonight, because we've got a lot to talk about and it's going to be interesting, we've got a lot of clips to play and some good topics, but I want to let everyone know about Australians for Better Government, as I always do. Please head to the website australiansforbetter.com and check out everything that we're doing at Australians for Better Government. If you hit that Our Merch button there, you'll go to the store where you'll get the hat that Mr. Buono is wearing, a whole bunch of other designs there as well. Just lost my mouse there for a second. I've got the new shirt here. You can see that. I don't know if anyone wants to model this shirt, but that's the Australians for Better Government T-shirt that you can get as well. And we've also got these pins. You're not going to be able to see these on the camera there, but Richard, there you go. There's one that you can look at. Protects free speech, enshrine our freedoms, proud Aussie, and also ABG as well. So you can get all those pins, T-shirts, hats,
car stickers.
We don't have the car stickers yet, but we got the stickers, but they're not on the website. So you'll have to come to an ABG event to get the car stickers. But no, I think I'm very happy with those the pins especially. So all on the website australiansforbetter.com, and if you want to sign up to be a member, which a lot of people have lately. I mean, whenever I go and speak, in the beginning, people were a little bit, not really understanding what we were talking about. It was a bit, it is a complex topic talking about reforming our system of government. But the more I speak about it at events and going back to different groups and speaking there, more than once, then the heads are starting to nod more and more and more, and more people are coming around to what we're trying to do at Australians for Better Government. So it's getting exciting.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people don't really read or know the Constitution.
No.
And what happens is, how do you fight for something? Something's not quite right. And, recommend reading the Constitution and seeing how the current government and the governments beforehand have veered from it. And then you can say, well, wait a second. If the Constitution is a framework in which our country is designed and how it's meant to be run, and then they've stepped away from that framework, then you're going to have, actually a leg to stand on to say, hey, well, actually, we should really bring this back. Or, maybe we should get rid of the Prime Minister, as you keep saying, that Prime Minister not even mentioned in the Constitution.
Well, I don't say we should get rid of it. I just say that we should.
Well, it should be voted for.
Well, it should be in
more
the Constitution.
Defined. More defined.
The roles and responsibilities of the Prime Minister should be in the Constitution. At the moment, he's not in the Constitution, so what is the role of the Prime Minister? Who knows? It's just whispered in the.
You think about the Constitution. Americans get as children at school, they get taught what is their Constitution.
Yeah,
they don't believe in government; they believe in the Constitution.
Yeah. Well, they believe in their freedoms as well.
Yeah, that's part of the Constitution.
Yeah, that's
in
right.
Australia, I don't know. Things probably changed. When I was at school, we never got taught the Constitution.
Well, we never got taught it, and I certainly don't get taught now.
We got told it was irrelevant.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway,
well, in one sense, it is because the government takes no notice of it anyway.
That's correct. So that's exactly what ABG's.
But most Americans die by the Constitution.
Yeah.
Hey, don't try to take one away of their guns; they'll fight for that.
Not just that,
straight away. But I know any
amendment of any parts of the Constitution.
Yeah,
not just the Second Amendment.
But that's what I mean, though, right? So like that, but that gun one's a hot topic.
Oh,
right?
my word!
And they've tried, Obama tried.
No.
And then it's just like, this is my Second Amendment, mate.
That's right.
You not taking it from me, and then they stand by that.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, that's everything that ABG is trying to do. Is trying to raise, just start the discussion firstly, so people talk about this stuff. I mean, people weren't talking about this stuff before ABG.
You're making progress. I'm getting more and more bored hearing about it.
And
Please, people just rip into Richard tonight. But if anyone wants to call in, as I said, keep that length of stream out and yell at him if you have.
like everything in life, you got to play long game. You got to just chip away.
Yeah, it's like
it's not a 2-year project; it's a 20-year.
Richard's on his last appearance on Command.
no, it's like Neville Rand said. You know, when you've got sick of saying it for the 500th time, people are starting to hear
that's
it.
right. That's right.
You know?
Yeah, you saved yourself. Got some. Got some comments.
Back up one notch back up.
Got some comments already. Faye says, picking on Richard already. Yes, we are, for good reason. Katie says, love the cap, Sam. Richard needs one too. Well, he's disqualified himself from getting a cap.
I need to ring you sooner or later, Katie.
Yeah. Innocent bystander says, a very sensible curved desk so everyone can see each other. Very smart. Yeah, well, I checked out. There's a website called Podcast Desks.
Yeah.
Which is
right.
in America.
Okay.
I stole the idea and built it myself. So
Good idea.
See?
Yeah. Katie said people should join Australians for Better Government. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
John the boys in the chat. And John says, love the studio. So thank you. I mean, hopefully everyone is enjoying the studio. We are going to be talking about taxation tonight and how Labor is taxing us into oblivion.
Right.
Got a comment about it already. Innocent bystander says, which system is simpler? In terms of number of tax laws, China is simpler. China, 18 main tax types. Australia, over 100 taxes, duties, levies, and charges across federal, state, and local government. And Innocent bystander went on to say, I heard that today, so I had to check. So he's checked that out. Hopefully it is true and fact checked. But yes, that's it. I mean, I think everyone
tell you it's true.
Everyone's feeling it. Yeah, everyone feels the pinch. Everyone feels that the government's got their hands in everything that they do, and that's because it's true. So I've got a whole bunch of clips. I woke up this morning and got on Instagram, and I was just scrolling through things, and it was interesting how many clips were coming up with people talking about the economy and talking about taxation and talking about how much the government is taking from us. And it was from all walks of life, you know, politicians, economists, and just everyday people. So we're going to get into some now. We'll play these clips and we'll get your feedback, I suppose. So, John the boy says, "Where's the two national flags, Stephen?" Well, we've only got one in my
one flag,
one flag for everyone. Yes, John the boy stirring the pot already. We should. We're gonna have to get John the boy up here from Melbourne. Yeah. So, all right, let's have a look at this. Where is the first one? Hold on. This has got it all out of order.
So while he's finding that, I just want to talk.
We
should do one about. I know he's going to clip it in 1 second, but you know what we need to talk about is the welcome to the country. Not today, right? But I just want my quick 1 point, and I was just thinking about it on the drive here. Actually, good hour, so I got time to think, and I'm like, if we're being welcomed to our own country, then how does the Prime Minister have the right to welcome us to this country if he himself is not from this country?
That's right. Yeah,
he is from this country. He was born here. He's like you and me. He was born here.
No, I get that. But he says
so. This is our country.
No, I get that.
This is something that really, really inflames me.
Right.
It's like I'm sick of being welcomed to my own country.
Right.
I'm absolutely fed up with it.
But that was like if I was at your place. Okay. So you know how he uses the analogy of I come to your house and say g'day and can I come in, and you welcome me into the house. I come in. Welcome,
no.
Right?
Piss off.
But wait a second. But he's basically doing to the Aboriginal people is this situation. I'm at your place. I answer the door and welcome people into your house.
Yep.
Right. So he's actually using the Aboriginals' house and he's welcoming people into this house.
Except that he's wrong. It's not the Aboriginals' house. The house belongs to everyone in Australia.
Exactly right.
There is no division.
I 100% agree with you. And I see you worked up, and I'm glad you are, because I feel the same way when I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this is just so stupid. It's the stupidest thing.
When I hear it
ever.
on television,
it's offensive. It's not just stupid. It's offensive. I don't want to be welcomed into my own country.
You know what I like? I like when I go home and my wife comes and answers the door and gives me a kiss on the cheek and says, "Hey, how was your day?" She doesn't welcome me into my own bloody house.
That's right. It infuriates me. It's
infuriating. Welcome to the country.
I see it on if I see it on television, I just switch the channel, and if a couple of times I've heard it in the roar, I just walked away. And people look at me. People look at me and I say, I don't care what you think. I'm walking away from it.
Every council meeting, you get welcome to the country. And you're like, well, it's an acknowledgement of the country, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when we had Cooper McCallum on, and he was talking about how the kids do a welcome to the country every time they get up to speak in class, when they're giving an assessment or a talk or whatever.
Yep. That's obscene.
Yeah, we're teaching our kids.
It's shocking.
We're teaching our kids that they don't belong in their own home.
Yeah,
they don't even teach them. You know, I went to the.
What a great thing!
I went to my shop the other day and gave them. I bought something for $7.50. I gave them a $10 note. This girl's 23 years old. I said cash. Gave them, and it took her 2 minutes to try and work out $2.55.
Come off it, mate.
It's bad. It's bad.
I couldn't. I should have told you beforehand, but it was about a week ago. I couldn't believe he sat there for about 30 seconds.
I feel sorry,
mate. The girl next to me, who's looked about mid-30s, I looked at her and said, "Is this what we're teaching at school?"
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, poor kids. I mean, all they know is the tap and go.
Yeah,
not just that, but we're talking about welcome to country.
And you know what would happen when you walked out of the shop? She would have gone, "Oh, that bloody old bloke still using cash. Who uses cash?"
Yeah, they would say that fat old bastard stared at me.
It's true. You know? It's true.
Yeah. All right, we've got a comment here from Karen. Karen says, "I can't say what I want. I can't say what I want. I can't say what I want. Get behind Pauline now. Only hope. We don't have time. She needs all of you." So
agreed.
So yeah, Pauline.
We'll see.
John the boy says it's all based around a false religion. Anyways, get back to Christianity, not cult Aboriginalism. I don't know about that comment, but I know John,
it's a view.
It's a view, and John likes stirring the pot.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got the clip up, so let's get into it.
Let's go.
And we'll start playing these clips, and we'll start getting the reactions. So this, actually, this is not the first one, but I'll play it first. It's all right. This is Simon Kennedy, the Liberal member for Cook down the Sutherland Shire. So let's.
Sam and I campaigned.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right,
when he got elected.
Let's hear what he had to say.
Guess what? Australia capital gains, it's the highest in the world. We have 47% CGT. Do you know what it is in New Zealand? 0%. Do you know what it is in Singapore? 0%. But here's something for my comrades across the aisle to get excited about.
Please.
China, it's only 20%.
Yeah.
China, it's only 20%. Communist China, you beat them by 27%. Well done. We can't even find a communist nation with higher capital gains tax than us. And you guys think it's funny. You think it's funny. You think it's funny. Well, I tell you what, Australia's business owners don't think it's funny.
Authorised by Simon Kennedy, Liberal Party, Cronulla.
Yeah, the reason they think it's funny is because they're all wankers.
Yeah, I just, you know what? That gets, you know what? Not so much. Even the taxes don't get me as much as their blasé attitude towards it. Just sitting across the chamber there.
You call it blasé. I'd call it arrogant and entitled.
Yeah, right.
It's like we're going to let you keep some of your money, and then we'll pretend that we're not taking your money.
Yeah, they think the government thinks they're entitled to see your hard-earned money. That people are getting up at the crack of dawn to go to work, drag themselves to work. It's true. Some people drag themselves to work sick, or with a dying loved one at home, or kids that are sick, or whatever, and they're dragging themselves to work to put a roof over their heads, and the government's sitting there going, "Oh well, we'll just take it out of."
Let's be more precise. This is Treasury and the bureaucracy who have that attitude, and they regard all taxpayers as being tax dodgers.
Yeah, that's right.
Or tax evaders.
Yeah, exactly. Tax dodgers. Yeah.
So it's like, well, you're trying to deceive us, so we're justified in persecuting you any way we feel like.
Well, you know that there's new rules in now, right, with employees. Okay, that you have to pay your super, right, in the same pay week as their pay now. So it used to be you used to be able to pay it monthly.
It's called group tax.
Yeah, right. Now, okay, when you pay them, right, you must do this. You must pay their super as well.
Well, that's a reflection of the way we handle money is different, because it's not done by check anymore, monthly check. It's done by transfers,
electronic transfer.
Right. So that's not such a big thing. But what I think is a huge thing is all the unfunded superannuation that the government has, right? I mean, that is a liability. If a private business tried to build up an unfunded liability with superannuation or pension funds, they would be in jail. The directors would be in jail.
Yeah.
And not slowly, it would happen immediately.
How about this comment from John the Boy? He says, when more than 20% of my salary at $26 an hour goes to the government to do things I hate, it's not funny anymore. Well, mate, wait till you're a bit older and you're earning a bit more.
Wait till you earn a bit more, it's 47%.
Wait until you start earning more than, what's the
$18,000 is tax-free threshold.
But was it 50 when you start paying 30? 30 cents in a dollar?
Yeah. Cents in a dollar.
Yeah.
And then
look at what's ahead of you, Johnny.
Mate.
Look, come back to the political side of it, where the arrogance of the government, it's hubris because they're on 94 seats.
Yep.
That's the thing.
That's when they can laugh at the opposition and
and
if you put the teals together, they're probably at about 102, 103 people.
And the right side of politics is in such disarray that they're thinking, well, we've probably got the next election. Let's start getting some reforms through that we want
those sort of reforms.
And that's why they touched capital gains. That's why they went after the negative gearing, because they think, hey, we've got all this political capital to burn. Let's start burning it.
But it's also because their spending is so completely out of control and they will not do anything about it.
Yeah.
So that they have to keep trying to get as much money as they can, and they're producing more and more exotic and harmful taxes. And they will continue to do that.
Remember they tried to use the spare room tax?
Yeah. Sorry?
The spare room tax?
Yeah.
I mean, that's weak.
Well, I can tell you what they're going to do, because the biggest single item on the budget is pensions. And one of the things they can do straight away to cut $10 billion out of spending at least is to include the family home into the pensions test, say above a value of $2 million, right? So they can basically cut off all the part and full pensions of anyone that owns a house that's worth more than $2 million.
See, the problem is, right, that forces people to sell because the house doesn't generate you income if you're living in it. So how do they survive?
They would term that as an elitist problem.
An elitist problem, yeah. Well,
yeah. They would say, Treasury would say, oh, well, these people are probably going to have to move into a retirement village anyway, so we're just speeding up the process.
Well, that's a crazy thing actually, because it's not even by fault of their own. So if they were lucky enough to purchase a house cheap when they were working, okay, like in the 80s or 70s, right? What, 50 grand for a house of land?
Yeah, but we're getting away from the point. If the government wasn't so profligate and stupid, then they wouldn't need to collect all these new taxes
anyway. And no, I agree with that.
Okay, so let's not put the cart before the horse.
Now,
I agree with that.
We've got my good friend in the chat. You're going to have to help me with the name because I'm hopeless at names. It's not just this name. I'm hopeless with all names. It makes me... Mahesh
Raja.
Let's just call him Mahesh.
No, not Maharaj. Mahesh
so
Raja.
my good friend, regardless, and hopefully maybe one day you'll call in so you can. I'm not good at reading names, but if you tell me and I hear it, I'll be much better at it. So hit that link to StreamYard and call in. But my friend says taxes too high should be below 20% max to be globally competitive, and CGT. That's capital gains tax needs to be zero. This means larger deficits, but there is way to financially engineer a solution to solve that problem. What do you think, Richard?
Sack the government.
Sack the government.
Cut government spending.
That'd be number one option. I mean, these guys couldn't find their ass with both hands. They are unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, let's play the next clip, and this was going to be my first clip, but I couldn't find it, but because I got a few clips here. But this is no wait, where is it gone? I thought that was it. Oh, it's not coming up. Here we go. So, sorry about that, everyone. This is Malcolm Roberts, who we will be talking about a bit later because he's in hot water. So not for anything he's done wrong, in my opinion, but we'll definitely talk about it. But this is him talking about alcohol.
This is a litre of underproof rum. You won't find this in the shops for less than $60 anymore. Of that, $38 or 63% is taken by the taxman and goes to Canberra. For every drink you get, the taxman takes 2. You're only getting a bit over a third of the spirits in this bottle that you paid for. The rest is going to the taxman. The Australian spirits tax is one of the highest in the world. Yeah. So is our income tax. And Labor wants to put extra taxes on cars and clothes too. When you fill up your taxed car with taxed fuel, drive to work to spend all Friday working to pay tax, and then have a drink to finish your week, the government won't let you have that without taxing most of it either. This might be okay if government was spending your money effectively, but they aren't. One Nation believes you should have more money back in your pocket, not being sent off to Canberra to be wasted. And by the way, no rum was harmed in the making of this video.
He's all class. He's all class. I really like Malcolm Roberts. He's good.
Okay, so what do we think?
Recently, is that recently or a fair while?
I saw it today, so I don't know how old it is. But look, again, it proves the point that the government has their hand in your pocket for everything. It's not just the money that you earn through work. I mean, there's excises and fuel excises and taxes on cigarettes and alcohol and all sorts of things.
They're losing money from cigarettes now.
Yeah.
They've taxed too much. So the black market.
Well, this is exactly what Alan Jones used to talk about. He says if you tax something, you get less of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
my brother buys down the road. My brother down the road buys cigarettes at $10 a packet.
Yeah.
Well, I buy mine, my tobacco for $20 for 25 grams. So, and it would be 5 times that if I was buying official.
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, Julian Hill was on Sky on Friday with Caleb Bond, and he was trying to say that everyone's wrong about how smoking rates have gone up because, and that we can tell because of the nicotine concentration in sewage water.
It's gone down?
And he says it's because people are using patches and gum. And the real rates of smoking have fallen because the government has a successful policy.
How would they know?
They don't know. They don't know. They've just made it up, and they think that if they propound the argument long enough and hard enough, that everyone will calm down and believe.
Maybe there'll be a question of census. They say, "Were you a smoker?"
We're talking about someone who's got lifelong skills built up in lies, deceit, and everything else that goes along with it. I mean, the guy is a practiced liar.
You're talking about Albanese?
No, I'm talking about Julian Hill.
Oh, okay.
Anything from Victoria, anything Labor from Victoria is being taught by Dan Andrews.
Yeah. It's like, look over there. You're not seeing this. It's all what Paul Murray always goes, the Jedi mind tricks. You know, these are not the droids you're looking
at. Katie says the smoking product tax has done nothing but generate organised crime and push people to buy a pint of ice instead of buying a packet of legal cigarettes.
Yeah. And people are taking more drugs now because they can't afford alcohol. And what we'll have is we'll have bootleg alcohol very, very soon.
Well, that's what they had in America when they outlawed.
Prohibition. Yeah.
And another thing too, with cost of living so high.
Yeah.
I read something. We're becoming like what's happened in America now. People can't afford to buy fresh food.
Yeah.
So they're going to KFC and buy 30 chicken wings or 30.
Yep.
For $5.50.
The junk food's cheaper than the fresh stuff.
That's correct. Yep. And the obesity comes in and all that sort of stuff.
And big business loves it.
And that puts more strain on the health system. The government has to fork out more money there.
So we'll get a fast food tax soon?
Yep.
Macca's tax?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or they'll raise the GST and they'll collect more from processed and packaged food.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the same thing effectively.
What was interesting to me when I was looking at some of these clips, like we've played some politicians, but also economists and mortgage brokers and all just different sorts of people that were popping up on our Instagram were pushing back against what's happening currently with the government. So I'm going to start playing some of those. This one's
one of Mark Bouris?
No, I don't have Mark Bouris, but I have this guy here. This is Lee Morris, who is a mortgage broker with SFP Financial. So let's hear what he has to say.
Oh, right. I'd like to buy 1,000 investment properties, please.
What? No, you can't do that.
Well, it says right here that I can.
What? Give me that. Hang on. Only 15% tax, land tax discounts, and depreciation benefits. Where'd you get this?
Your government.
Well, why didn't I get these rules?
I think it says on there, not offered to greedy little landlords causing a housing crisis.
What the fuck? And what are you then?
Well, I'm the government's preferred landlord. Not emotionally invested, you know. No plans to sell.
So the government's just decided they prefer foreign ownership of our property?
Yeah. Well, if that pisses you off, you better stay off the toll roads.
What?
Nothing. Roll the dice. My Canadian shareholders need another dividend. Oh, right.
Okay, so that was a pretty clever clip, but they're talking about a serious issue where the government has done this deal with the Greens to stop people with self-managed super from buying residential property, but foreign buyers and foreign pension funds can buy our residential property. How does that work? How is the government working for everyday Australians? They're not.
And it's also particularly dumb because if you own residential property in your super fund, you can't live in it.
Yeah.
You've got to rent it out.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is actually forcing rents up.
Yeah. I mean, everything they're doing is just screwing us harder and harder and harder.
Yeah, well, that's because that they are desperate and that they are searching around for any revenue stream or source that they can possibly have because they don't want to do the hard work of cutting their costs.
Yeah. I mean, do you see this stuff in council, Adam, where they're just, I mean, I guess your council, you've said in the past.
Our council seems to be pretty good. I think, there's always, we could probably get rid of, some flag raising ceremonies and some, little things like that.
Yeah.
But I did read something recently that inner city councils, like metropolitan councils, tend to spend a lot of money on people and placemaking, and out of suburbs and rural councils spend all their money on like maintenance and of plant and road work and stuff like that. So, I mean, the difference is that they got more road to cover. So
the council here spends $556 million a year
on,
because they're all teals and greens now, and Labor.
Just on virtue signalling.
Yeah. Got a comment from Katie. Katie says it won't be long until they ban self-managed super funds.
That'd be hard to. That's hard to unwind.
That'd be hard to do.
But they could do it if they wanted.
They might be able to grandfather it, make it harder, more costly.
Drown
I mean, it's already
drown them in red and
it's
green
already
tape.
quite costly.
Well, I got quoted from my accountant about $6,000.
Yeah,
to do it. I know
you can do better than that.
I know you can do better than that, but my accountant, who's my main guy, he said $4,000 to $6,000 to start a self-managed super fund.
He could be making a career decision with your business. Yeah, that sounds pretty expensive.
Sounds pretty expensive, yeah. I mean, I'd shop around, but I'm just saying, like, the fact of the matter is that now that this rule, I've got to tell you something. This stifles like entrepreneurs and things like that, because what happened was, so
startup funds and all that sort of stuff. You got,
I mean, like, I didn't even think about unleashing my superannuation. Okay, and I didn't even start thinking about it just until before they started doing these announcements with these new reforms, and you and I have had a conversation about it, and I started inquiring because my business should have its own factory. Why am I renting when I could actually save money by buying a factory? The only problem is that you need such a big deposit, and then don't forget too, right? So in the 80s and 90s, factories were 50, 60, maybe 100 grand. Right now, we're talking about $1 million plus for a small factory of about 200 squares. Okay, I mean that's for 4 walls and a 7-meter high ceiling. That's all you get.
But you only have to study history. This is what socialist governments do. They stifle,
So why do they stifle it? Why? What's their motivation or lack of?
They don't trust people.
See, they don't actually conceptualize what it's like to build something because they've never had to do it. They've never had to build a business. They've never had to work longer than 40 hours. They've never had to extend themselves.
They don't have to work when they're sick.
Take on any risk. They've never had to make investments. They don't understand. They just don't
I
get
think
it.
this is becoming a battle between the public service, which is expanding and expanding and expanding.
It's done extremely well. It's expanded
loving
by
it.
25%.
Yeah, they're loving it
in 4 years.
And they don't have to produce. I mean, what KPIs
they've produced consumption.
Yeah, well, that's right. But the everyday people out there that are wanting to start a business or get ahead, aspirational people, they're just getting smashed.
Well, people who want to build something, people who want to produce for the country. Okay, so these are people that the government should be like handing a silver platter to be honest with you, right? So,
but this is the point. They don't have the mentality. They don't value that. They just think anyone that's in business is someone that's out for themselves for profit.
Well, that's
they don't think about customer service. They don't understand anything like that. They don't understand that before you make any money, there's a whole lot of things that have to happen and happen well.
Yeah.
They don't get it. They just don't get it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you couldn't even talk to them till you're blue in the face about it, because unless you live it, unless you do it, okay, you'll never understand.
Or unless you've grown up in a family that does it.
That's living it. If you've grown up in a family that's done it, you've lived it because you're living it. Because I'm telling you, on the weekends or on your school holidays, you're down there helping mum or dad out, working in whatever it is. I don't care if it's a fish and chip shop. I don't care if it's a blind making shop. You're there. Whatever it is. You're doing things. I mean, look at you, Trippy. Okay, you've got you've got a few chickens and you've got a couple of eggs, and right. I mean, your daughter is always out there grabbing eggs and stuff like that. I mean, that's like that. It's minute. It's nothing. It's only just a couple of chickens and having eggs, but you've still got your family right doing it right.
You want to get to a system where people are self-sufficient and not having to rely on government.
No, but they're making it so
hard.
This government doesn't want that.
But we're moving towards another issue, which is, as a libertarian, I'm a bit more sensitive to this, right? But we have become a more and more authoritarian party.
A party or government?
Or government.
Government, people, country, and we have become more if not submissive, then accepting of that.
Yeah.
People have become quieter.
Yeah.
People are much quieter than they were 40 years ago.
Yep.
And this is what makes it possible to have these tyrannical governments like the Victorian government and like our present government.
Do you think that's
94 seats?
Do you think that's because they've attacked masculinity so much and put men in a box where they're too afraid to really speak out anymore?
Well, they've silenced anyone that's been speaking out. So obviously men are a little bit more outspoken than women.
But not as much as they would have been in the past.
Especially boomers and Gen Xers are a bit more men are more outspoken than, say, the millennials.
Yeah.
Well, my mother says I'm a worry. So
Well, I just think I think people now, I think a lot of the younger generations and that they just get into the hustle. So what happens is they know they're not going to buy a property. They're going to live at home or they're going to rent somewhere. I'm in and out of people's places. I said it a million times, right?
My niece said the same thing.
So the thing is, right? So what they do is, right? They do side hustles, right? So they'll work, at some, bartending job or a job that gives them flexibility with time. Right. But then that gives them a little bit of time, they'll do a little bit of investments and stuff like that. I mean, they've come after capital gains tax anyway. So any investments or anything that you have, you're going to cop for that. So, I mean, they're attacking the younger kids who've tried to find a way, to just, at least, break free a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And they stifle it.
Yeah. Well, let's bring up the next clip because that ties into exactly what you're talking about, Adam. How are these changes with the capital gains and negative gearing impacting young people, and the government selling it as though they're doing this to stop intergenerational thefts and make it easier for young people? Well, it's not just older people like Richard that have figured this out. It seems like young people have figured this out as well. So let's play the next clip and hear from some younger people. I apologize for the swearing, but I guess people are angry. So
we're all adults here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what, I'm buying a house. Awesome, Jackson. Because the government are making it easier for young people to get into houses. That's awesome, Jackson. That is awesome. I'm so happy the government is helping young people. Hooray!
Nah, you got it wrong.
What? Why?
They're getting rid of negative gearing.
Wait, isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, isn't that a good thing? They're getting rid of it for new buyers. Everyone that already owns a home can keep doing it.
Oh. Wait, I'm going to be a new buyer. Wait, Jackson, you're going to be a new buyer. I know, shut up.
You can no longer negatively gear unless you're already doing it. Then you can do it forever.
So they're making it easier for young people to get a house by making it more expensive for young people to own a house.
Jackson, this doesn't sound as awesome as it did before. That's not all.
Yeah, but they're changing the capital gains tax discount, so now it's more fair.
Except the gains people made in the past will still be taxed under the old scheme.
Jackson, this sounds nowhere near as awesome as it did. Tom, shut the fuck up.
So the people these changes will hurt the most are people that are yet to buy a home.
So then why the fuck are they doing it?
To make investing less attractive so the house market grows slower.
Oh, so it'll be more affordable to buy a house.
It will likely never be more affordable to buy a house. It's still only going to get more expensive, just at a slightly slower rate. Maybe.
Tom.
Maybe it won't make much difference at all.
Okay, so I have to cop heavily reduced benefits and it will maybe make houses become more expensive at a slightly slower rate. That's bananas. Tom, I will fuck you up.
Yes, Jackson, you understand it properly now.
Oh, this has ruined my day. Is there any upside?
Yeah, they're changing the tax rate, so everybody will get an extra $250.
Over what, a month?
No, a year.
Oh, what the hell am I going to do with $250 extra a year? That's bananas. Tom, I will end your life.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know in what world that would make a difference to anyone.
Great, so everyone before me gets it good and I get it shit.
Yeah, more or less.
Now that's bananas.
Tom, I will bash you.
Hey, Tom, guess what? I'm buying a house.
That's brilliant, right? That's brilliant.
Good. Very, very
We're
good.
laughing though because these guys are very.
No, I'm laughing.
This
at
is
the comedy.
this is serious.
The matter is BS. The matter is ridiculous of what they're doing.
Yeah, but there's even more to it than this, because before the budget, the government put through all the subsidies and new laws so that big overseas companies could come in and build massive build-to-rent properties like they have in America and Europe. And so you will have they don't want young people to buy houses. No. They want them to be tenants for life.
For life, yep.
That's what they want. That's what the Greens want. The Greens never ever talk about any other housing but public housing.
That's true. And affordable housing.
And they've screwed up public housing for the last 25 years beyond recognition. So they've said, all right, we can't do it, so we'll get someone else in to do it. And these big companies are so practiced, they will have property managers, they will have maintenance programs, they will run these places like prisons,
like hostels. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Greens, I've got a clip for you, Richard. I mean, again, I'm just finding random people on my Instagram. I mean, people, all types of people are really upset about what's taking place, not just at a federal level, but a local level or state level.
I'm not affected and I'm upset about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we should all be upset about it as Australians because we want a strong country where everyone can contribute and get ahead.
Do we want to completely dishearten and discredit our youth?
Yeah.
So they have no ambition?
It's good to see that the youth are waking up to it. They're awake up to it. And
half of them still want to vote Greens or Labor.
Well,
I think that they're misguided. I don't think they understand what they're voting for at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
They better wake up fast.
They better wake up. I agree with that, and then in saying that, it's our job to wake people up. It's our job to have the conversations. If you're a parent and have children who are voting for the Greens and Labor, I mean, and you're not a Greens or Labor voter, then have the conversation at dinner time. It's not against the rules to have a conversation about
One Nation voter.
He is? Yeah, good on him. I like him even more. He's gone up my ladder.
And he wants to liberalise gun laws too.
Yeah. And he gives you a hard time, which is a tick in my book. This is Drew Evans. He's a real estate developer, and again, I apologise for the swearing, but I guess people are very angry.
Well, it's come to that point though.
Yeah,
you never
people are
used to hear
frustrated,
people
angry.
swearing on that. People didn't use to. Professionals didn't used to swear on radio or on podcasts and stuff, and now it's kind of like there's nothing else to say.
It's boiling over. So let's have a look and see what he said.
Greens plan to tax developers more to build affordable homes. It's just passed council.
Are you kidding me right now? We've got the worst housing crisis in this country's history. And your genius solution is to tax the one group of people that are actually building the houses.
Works by charging developers more when they renovate, build something new, or get approval to build higher.
We haven't got enough homes. That's literally the entire problem. And your fix is to make it more expensive and more painful for the people actually supplying the homes. You don't tax your way out of a shortage. You build your way out of it. It's basic economics. How the f*** could you not understand that?
We knew because of the scale of the housing crisis, we had to do more.
So more needs to be done. No shit. So maybe as opposed to dreaming of ways to tax people more, go and get a trade license. Go pour a slab. Go frame a house. Go and do one single productive thing. Instead of standing on a podium telling the people that actually build the solution that they are the problem.
The City of Sydney will now have the strongest affordable housing scheme in the country.
Of course, so much more needs to be done to fix our broken housing system.
If you actually cared about fixing this, you'd be making it faster, speeding up approvals, making it easier and cheaper to build, not harder. But nah, that doesn't get you a headline and the chance to make a cringy TikTok, does it?
We've been working on this for years and we want to say a big thank you for everyone who helped in their campaign. It's because of you we've had this huge win today.
Yeah, what a huge win. Standing in the rain, telling the only people that can get us out of this crisis that they're the problem. If you want to be a hero, get a job, pick up a hammer, and then maybe they'll be helping the crisis.
Our Greens plan
Yeah, I think he hit the nail on the head. Pun, pardon the pun.
That's shocking.
This might. I don't want to sound on the political side of the Greens. If you talk to people who work with the Greens or do deals with Greens in parliaments, what they say publicly and what they do privately, privately, are two different things. What they do is they don't. A lot of them just bang on to keep to their base.
Yeah,
it's not to try and attract or do. It's all about for them. It's all about politics.
Yeah,
yeah,
all of it.
But these are still going through. They're still bringing in legislation.
I actually know one of those Greens councillors that was in that shot.
Yeah,
Matthew Thompson.
Yeah.
I campaigned with him for a week.
Yeah, and what was your opinion?
I kept teasing him and saying, "You're so nice. What? Why are you in the Greens? You're so nice."
Yeah,
he got a bit annoyed with me after a while.
But when you actually,
that's the thing.
But there's the Greens councillors. I know I'm probably talking out of school. What they say publicly and what they say privately, is it sometimes differently?
Yeah,
it's hard for you. I know you probably don't want to say it.
I will say yes to a degree.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. I think that actually, and Richard's probably going to hate me for this, he might jump over the table, is that they probably have a little bit more common sense, especially in Campbelltown Council, than what is portrayed on that clip that we just saw. They understand that houses need to be built. They understand that land needs to be cleared. Okay, but they won't vote for it.
That's right.
Question: do they have ruthless focus rather than common sense?
Yeah, but it's all for the Green side of it. It's all politics.
Yeah. That's
you talk to, as we know, we know people in Macquarie Street and stuff like that, and you get a bit of conversation with me, and you talk to them. What do they do on these certain issues? And that's as your blokes in Campbelltown would do. If it's against their policy, they agree with it privately, but they won't vote with it because of it. When people look at when their people in staffers at the Greens in the city, and they look at it on Hansard and say, "You voted for that thing, you shouldn't have done that because it's against our policy."
Yeah, but that, I mean,
so a lot of them,
in essence, look, I like that they actually do that because that's what your base is voting for, right? So you vote for, so you pick who you want to vote for based on policy. Well, you should, not on what they look like, right? And then if they're following their policy book, okay, and then telling all their councillors, or if they're telling all their members or whatever it is, their political people or candidates, then that's a good thing. So I'm not against them doing that. I just think their policies are terrible and they need to get rid of them.
No, I've got two things.
I disagree with you there because it comes back to all politics, and I'm a bit of a nerd because I read Hansard. Okay?
Yeah. Oh my God.
But I'm just saying,
nerd.
What I'm trying to say is they won't, and I know for a fact, as you blokes know, we all know people in Macquarie Street. Yeah. And what they do is if there's something that they like, but it's not their policy platform on the Green side of it, they'll say, "We agree with it, but we can't vote on it."
So they'll leave the chamber.
They won't vote on it, or they'll tell the government, it's against our policy, but we're not going to vote for it because it's common sense. But we can't vote because in politics, the government, the Greens policy, for example, is this, and that, which is unpractical in the real world. But the government or some other people have said, we'll come up with this issue, which is they agree with, but they can't vote with it because it's technically against their policy. Because people like them on those TikToks is their voters, or their members have said this is the policy we want.
Yeah,
so they say, okay, we'll agree with that policy, but we won't be implemented because it's impractical, and we won't vote for it because it won't get through.
I've got a couple of things to say.
I didn't explain that well, but what I'm trying to say is what they say.
I'll take it further. Yeah. It's okay. With that clip, the guy was saying, they're stopping developers building. They're stopping developers building to sell. They're not stopping the developers coming in from overseas to build to rent, because that is in line with what they want, which is to have
lifelong renters,
authoritarian control over people. And that's their ideology and belief because they are fanatics. It's like a religion.
Yeah.
Right? And this is when you talk to them, they lead with their ideology and belief. They don't come find out. They're not curious about what you think at all. They want to tell you how it's supposed to be. And that's very much the mindset of the Greens party. And they actually have a personality type like people do. And it's the fanatic. It's the religious fanatic, the holy cause. We're gonna save your soul even if we have to kill you to do it.
Yeah.
And they are so dangerous because they think they're always right.
Yeah.
But luckily those blokes never get into a council or a parliamentary seat.
They do enough damage. They do enough damage all the time anyway, everywhere.
Yeah, but when it gets to a Greens MP, for example, that votes in Parliament, he knows it's not going to go through, so they
Sam,
stay away from it.
Got a comment here from Dilemmas, and I want to ask you about this, right? So Dilemmas says the one thing that every One Nation voter agrees on is that we are overtaxed and overgoverned.
Correct.
Until that is addressed, the surge for One Nation isn't going anywhere.
Good.
What do you think?
Oh,
isn't going to slacken off.
Yeah,
I agree.
Aren't we going a bit off subject now?
Well, we can come back.
The temperature of the country's going up. It's get the thermometer out.
Yeah, people are angry.
Yeah, they're not suddenly going to say, "Oh, gee, we've had a drink, a bit of a relax, and everything's fine. We can go back to not caring about anything."
Yeah,
look,
what's going to happen?
I saw a podcast. I followed podcasts in The Guardian, Barry Cassidy and the bloke from Redbridge.
Tony Barry.
Tony Barry.
Yeah, the Guardian's thing.
Barry Cassidy thinks that One Nation will go back down to 6%.
Barry Cassidy's made some legendary stuff up predictions.
And
I wouldn't listen to anything.
Tony Barry, being polite, he probably said, "Mate, there's a lot of angry people that won't get down to 6%."
Yeah. There are a lot of angry people. Now, this lady here, I also found her to be very intelligent and well-spoken. This is a lady called Martine Wallace. I don't know if anyone's following her already because she's got a pretty decent following out there. So let's hear what she has to say. She's talking about the minimum wage, which I guess doesn't get talked about enough.
All minimum wage just went up and your boss isn't the one sweating about it. The treasurer is quietly thrilled. Let me follow the money. From July 1, the minimum wage is $26.44 an hour. Over $1,000 a week for the first time. Awesome. And I mean that. Nobody working full time should be poor. But watch what happens to that pay rise before anyone gets to celebrate. It gets taxed 3 different ways. Now, firstly, if you're full-time on the minimum, you're now in the 30% tax bracket. So roughly a third of your raise goes straight back to Canberra, tax before it even hits your account. Yeah. Secondly, your super goes up to 12% on top. That's your boss's cost, not the government, except the government taxes your super at 15% on the way in. So they clip your retirement too. And thirdly, your boss pays the higher wage plus the super plus a bigger workers' comp premium. The headline number is never the real number. Now, the bit that should make you furious because there's an obvious fix that helps everyone and they won't touch it. If you actually wanted more money in a worker's pocket without crushing the business that employs them, you wouldn't lean on the boss to pay more. You'd cut income tax. So let's run both side by side. That full-time pay rise is about $2,400 a year. After the 30% tax and the Medicare levy, and the worker actually keeps around $1,600. The boss, though, pays the whole rise plus super, closer to $2,700 out of pocket, and the government collects around $800, having paid and risked nothing. So worker up $1,600, boss down $2,700, government up $800. Now do it the other way. Cut income tax instead. Hand the same worker the same $1,600 and the boss pays nothing, not a cent more in wages or super. The only one who goes without is the government because for once it's giving up its slice instead of grabbing a bigger one. And that's exactly why they almost never choose it. The pay rise route is the only version where the government comes out ahead and someone else foots the bill. A tax cut helps helps the worker and the business. It doesn't just help the house. And that's the whole game. Picture a casino. The players at the table, that's you, your boss. You put the money down, you take the risk, you win some, you lose some. The casino never plays a hand, never bets, never loses. It just clips a little off every chip that slides across the table. That's the government here. Never sat down, never risk a dollar, but it takes a cut of every payday, every raise, every dollar that moves. Win or lose. The house always gets paid. They just hope you never ask who wrote the rules of the house. Your minimum wage.
Yep, bang on. And
Bang on. Like it is bang on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 taxes.
Well, it just goes to show that the government is taxing everything that we do. They've got their hand in our pocket for everything.
Mhm.
And if they wanted to build the economy, if they wanted to build productivity, if they wanted to put more money in people's pockets, they could reduce taxes, which is what Peter Costello always talks about.
Sure.
But they didn't learn from him. Oh no, he wasn't just the most successful treasurer that we ever had, and paid off our debt and started putting money away. Oh no, don't listen to him. Listen to Jim Chalmers and Anthony Albanese and these clowns.
Boys, I have a news flash.
What's that?
There's a news poll just came out.
Okay.
10
All
minutes ago.
right, everyone.
All right, let's go.
Everyone's watching Commanding the Narrative in the news studio to hear updated news. Mr. Buono, the pollster, our very own pollster here. What have you got?
Very surprising news after what's happened to One Nation and the mainstream media running negative campaigns for the last week or two.
Yeah. And we will talk about that
What's
coming
what
up.
poll is it?
News poll.
News poll. Okay. Big one.
Labor's gone from 33 to 30.
Yeah.
What's One Nation?
30.
So I got goosebumps. So good.
Is that the first time they've had a 3 in front of them?
In news poll, yes.
Wow. So tell us about news poll.
News poll's the biggest and most respected of all the polls.
Okay.
And it's the one the politicians. It's the only one the politicians will own up to looking at.
Right. So I've just brought it up. Thank you, Sam, for steering us in the right direction.
I didn't think it because news poll put one out 2 weeks ago. They generally don't do.
Yeah, I thought their last one was a bit of an outlier.
LMP 19.
So 17 or 9?
No, this one's wrong. This must be the old one. So this is talking about the one before.
Just downloaded about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
10 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. So we won't show that there because that's talking that's following the old narrative that the polls are
So
falling.
the Liberals have gone up too.
No, they're stuck on. What were they before?
17, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Greens 12, which is amazing. Over the last 12 months, the Greens have not moved an inch.
No, because they've got their voting base and that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's that, and they're not reproducing, not creating any more new voters for the Greens.
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
what happens is they've got what they've got. They'll go into decline anyway.
Yeah.
Especially
morons don't move.
Sorry?
Morons don't move.
Yeah, well.
Nicholas,
They don't breed either.
Nicholas says this, and I'll give you the opportunity to respond, Sam. Nicholas says, heartening, but it's probably an outlier unless we get more positive polls.
Well, what's
there's nothing more positive than that.
Yeah, that's right.
I can tell you straight, right, that the sentiment on the street is One Nation.
Yeah.
Okay. I think out of all of us in this room, I probably visit the most houses a day, according and over a course of a month.
Yeah.
And I'd probably speak to the most people, probably like different people. You know what I mean? And all walks of life. So young, older, and all that kind of stuff. The hard liberals are One Nation. So anyone who was a solid liberal,
that's what I'm finding.
A solid liberal voter.
I got a call from a liberal through the week, and she went to her first One Nation meeting.
Yeah,
okay.
And she said, and she's elderly. Well, not elderly, but she's probably 70 or so. She said, Stephen, I can't believe how friendly everyone was.
Yeah.
And how relaxed everything was. And everyone was just talking about how it fixed things. I said, yeah.
That's
what I found when I was in the Liberal Party. I couldn't stand it because it was horrible. But, when you do go to One Nation events, and I'm not in One Nation, I'm not a member or anything like that. I mean, I was, so I can speak about both parties. That's what I felt.
Because it's more just regular people, mums and dads, common sense people trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
And how have they done it? They can see that what Pauline's saying and what One Nation's policies are common sense policies. And we know I'm biased towards One Nation, but in general, right? I wasn't always one nation. Okay. And I
was hardcore liberal.
Well, I was liberal too. So once I grew up and realized I needed money, I stopped voting for Labor and what mum and dad or anyone else used to vote for. You know what I mean? Sure. And then I changed everyone else's opinions because I actually got into it. Okay. But what I'm saying is that you got regular people, mums and dads, going to speak in groups with other mums and dads, right? Trying to make a difference. And what they've done is become active. And now they're trying to make change. And how do you make change? They've probably joined the party. They've gone to branch meetings. And now they're going to actively work to help make this party, which they believe in, okay, more successful.
So just repeat that figure, Sam. So One Nation 30. The Labor's on 30. So 30 and 30. What are the Liberals on?
On 19.
So does that... So with preferences, you would think that One Nation would be ahead in the two-party preferred, because you said Greens are on 12.
Yeah, it's more like 50-50, I think, isn't it?
How do they work that out?
If it bottom just went 51.5 Labor.
Yeah.
Are they saying that Liberal won't
back One Nation
preference, like Liberal voters won't preference?
The popular view at the moment is that 27% of liberal national voters won't preference One Nation. That's the popular view.
And they are mad.
They
are mad. That is madness.
It's not 75. It's 70-30.
70-30 is it?
Off the judging of the South Australian election and some parts in Farrer.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got one more clip on the economy. I've got a couple more after that, which is actually focused more on how the government is spending our money, or misspending, if that's a word. So I want to just play this one because I think this is first time I've come across him. You obviously know who he is.
I've watched a lot of his stuff.
He sums it up very, very well. So let's see what Scott has to say.
I honestly don't understand why Aussies right now are complaining about tax. You only have to pay income tax 45%. Oh, then there's a 2% Medicare levy. And then every time you buy something, you pay GST. If your investments finally make money, okay, you got to pay capital gains tax on that, 47% on that. If you buy a property, okay, you pay stamp duty. If you keep that property, you might pay land tax. Then you've got council rates, because apparently owning land is now a subscription service here in Australia. Buy a car, motor vehicle duty, fill it up, fuel excise. Dare to buy a car over 80, 90 grand, you're going to pay luxury tax. And remember, you pay GST on top of all of that as well. Run a business and employ people, payroll tax. Your employer gives you a few extra perks, fringe benefits tax. Take out insurance to protect yourself and your family. In some states, insurance duty. And depending on where these new testamentary trust changes end up, well, you're going to be paying a death tax. So I don't know why everyone's complaining. Let's just do a quick recap.
In this one,
you pay tax when you earn money, you pay tax when you spend money, you pay tax when you invest money, you pay tax when you buy assets, you pay tax when you keep assets, you pay tax when you drive your car, you pay tax when you employ people, you even pay tax trying to protect the things you've already paid tax on. Apart from all of that, basically, this is a tax-free country.
Look, I saw you shaking your head, Adam, and look, we've seen protests about Palestine, we've seen protests about immigration. I mean, why are people not marching in the streets, angry and furious at the way that we're being taxed?
I still don't think they're feeling the pinch.
Because we've become compliant to an authoritarian regime.
Yeah.
But we're willing to protest about other things. Where this is the thing that impacts your family and your lifestyle more than anything else. Your future, and also, I mean, I think about going to work. That you're giving up your time. You're giving so much
3 days a week, mate.
Yeah, you're giving up time away from your family, your friends. You're giving up so much of your youth away. You just to work and to get ahead. And the government's just sitting there, going, right, we've got all these public servants, we've got all these, things to fund. Let's just take it from these tax evaders, and we'll give it to ourselves. I mean, what kind of mentality is that, and why do we put up with it?
And if they did a decent job, no one would really resent paying a lot of tax, like people do in Scandinavia, which is often held up as this great socialist nirvana. But the people there are prepared to pay a lot more tax than we do, because they get services.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a social compact.
Education's free, medical's free.
Look, they get all kinds of services. But the thing is, they're different type. They're a different type of people.
Yeah.
We would never sign up to that sort of a compact. So what's happening at the moment is we're being deceived into accepting something which is really not of our choosing.
Yeah.
And there is a fundamental deception, because the government keeps on telling us that they're looking after us, and when they're not, and serving themselves and not doing their job.
We've got a comment from my good friend, and we can discuss this. What government costs should be cut? Well, let's have a go at this. And then we can talk about the cost benefits. It's not as easy as we think.
Oh, yes, it is. No. It's really easy.
Post-COVID world is very unstable. Markets can't solve all problems.
Look at Argentina.
Avoiga.
It's been done.
Avoiga.
You done?
How's that going in Argentina? I mean, libertarians love Javier Milei, and
everybody loves Javier Milei. He's cut the inflation rate from 300% down to sort of like 20, which is sort of almost manageable.
Yeah.
He's halved the size of government. He's removed all the rent controls and stuff like that. So there's plenty of houses for rent now. There's no homelessness. Everything's going really well.
See, I think the government's using the public service to hide the unemployment rate.
100%.
They're putting on more and more people in the public service. I think 100%. What they need to do is they need to encourage people into small business.
You're giving them way too much credit.
Oh, come on, that's what they're doing.
No, they're giving heaps of money to private contractors to employ people for the care sector, the nursing
NDIS,
homes, the NDIS, childcare, all of that. And they're all union members.
Hey mate,
so it's like one hand's just washing the other all the way along the line.
You pay $50 an hour to sit down and watch a movie with somebody.
The thing is that this government is so corrupt in its whole outlook and attitude that there's always a racket going on. You got to look for the racket. Where's the payoff? Who's winning and who's losing?
Yeah. Look, I think when you're thinking about cutting, and let's try and answer the question, adequately, because I think it is a good question. Where would you make cuts?
We'll get rid of DEI.
Foreign aid straight away. I would look at that definitely. How much money are we putting there? Maybe it's not a lot. Maybe it is a lot. I mean, that's something that we need to look at. Definitely the size of the public service. Maybe trying to incentivize them to start their own consulting businesses and get off the taxpayers' purse. So then they actually have to go out into the private industry and make it on their own.
See the big real.
And look,
real
a lot of them would be able to do that.
You really don't like doing things the easy way, do you?
Go on, tell me how to do it the easy way. Because my good friend is looking for answers, Richard. Apparently it's not easy. Sam's gone to sleep over there.
It is easy. It's really easy. Look,
I'm just looking at some stats.
Okay, go on.
I mean, the lowest hanging fruit is what One Nation's identified, which is you have departments in Canberra that do not employ one nurse or teacher, the education and health departments.
Yeah.
They don't run a hospital or a school. And the whole building's full of bureaucrats.
Yeah.
So you've got to have roles and responsibilities between the state and federal government.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing you can do. Just shut the whole place down.
Shay says sort out the NDIS rorts.
Yep.
That's something.
Stop paying the $1 billion to the Aboriginal.
Yep.
The Aboriginal industry?
Yeah.
If you're looking for some answers as to what we could...
I can amuse you a bit more, though.
You can get rid of 40 or 50,000 public service in them.
I call it the Kennett plan. You just merge Tasmania, South Australia and Melbourne into one state and via two complete state governments.
Okay. But doesn't that become more communist? Less government? There's less people that have say then? That's going to be against libertarian principles right there, mate.
No, you'd hope that they secede, so we'd be better off without them.
Maheshush says Argentina isn't a good example. They have gone backwards in recent times.
Nonsense.
I'm an economist, so I've looked at them. Hard to get details on the chat, or hard to get at details on a chat.
I'd love to talk to you about it, but that sounds like complete nonsense to me.
Let's talk about. Let's play some clips. So this is some. I've got 3 clips here, and then we'll get into some other stuff. This is some of the things that government, particularly the Victorian government, is spending taxpayer dollars on.
Allen's government dropped $1 million to trial 30-kilometre speed limits at a heap of local streets, including the famous Chapel Street. We're told the speed cuts will make roads safer for pedestrians, cyclists and drivers across the state. Now, there's been a whole lot of opinions on this week, but I'm not here for hot takes. What do the facts say? Step 1. If you're in one of these 4 council areas, you're going to be impacted. But the government refused to send me the full list of all of the roads that will be slashed to 30 Ks. So I went looking through council websites until I found the streets for myself. There's a total 165 local streets set for 30-kilometre-an-hour speed limits. Step 2. This is Victoria's of crash data. Every time there's a crash in Victoria that results in injury or death, it is recorded in this spreadsheet. These rows tell us when it happened, why it happened, who was impacted, the severity of the accident, and where it happened. If those 165 streets should really be slow zones, these numbers would prove it. Step 3, I cleaned it, sorted it, and ran a formula. And guess what? 9 in 10 of the roads that are set to be slashed to 30 k's an hour have a perfect safety record. That's 0 crashes in the last 3 years on 142 of these roads. So they're using our tax money to test out 30km/h speed limits on roads that are already some of the safest in the state. It gets better. Crashes with people walking or riding their bikes only occurred on 14 of these roads in the last 3 years. Wait a second, wasn't the whole point of this trial to better protect our pedestrians and cyclists? As for Chapel Street, I will give them credit on this one. There were more than 100 crashes on Chapel Street in just 3 years. 86 of those crashes involved pedestrians or cyclists. The state average is just 0.7. Maybe Chapel Street could do with a slow zone after all. I never published my data before going to the government first. So I sent this across to them and I asked, how do you justify this when the data shows no risk? They didn't send me their reasoning or an analysis to justify the funding commitment. Instead, they sent me this. These are council-led trials. Councils will assess the results. Our taxes straight into the hands of councils without any testing, rhyme or reason. 3 things before you go. 1, I've put this entire data set in my story online. Search your street, see the crashes and decide for yourself if it stacks up. 2, I spoke with a professor who had a great take on why he thinks the government is pushing ahead with this despite the data. Subscribing for that in the full story means I can keep doing research just like this. 3, if you can't afford a sub right now, drop a graph emoji and I will send you the link to the...
Okay, so that was
I like her.
that was Grace
She's
Frost, Herald Sun's multimedia reporter. So if you're asking for ways we could slash government spending, I mean, look at those sorts of programs. Are they needed? What is government spending this money on?
I know for a fact in my council they want to go. There's a councillor, a Greens councillor, wants to go down the 30 kilometres and have his bikes and get people and try and force cars off the road.
Yeah, well, she's talking about Chapel Street, Paran, which is like the greenest area second greenest area in the whole of Melbourne. And so 86% of the crashes were pedestrians. It's like that's Greens, riding bikes and walking out in front of cars,
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be party central as well. I mean, I don't know that's what
It is.
all that
It
well.
is.
I do. But yeah. So people late at night when they're drunk, stumbling out on the street, maybe they're walking in front of cars or bikes or whatever.
Well,
the thing,
a lot of nightclubs there.
Well, what I take from that is they cherry pick the data, right? So they know that they're going to put 30 kilometres an hour on the safest streets in Melbourne, and then they go, look, this works. No accidents. And then they'll roll it out across the board.
It's a racket.
It's a racket. So what happens is one street, which is talk about Chapel Street, might benefit from a speed reduction. It may.
That's right.
I actually reckon.
No.
I actually reckon you should jack the speeds up.
We should knock
and you'll have
down
less.
dumb Greens pedestrians.
No, but
should we put the speed limit up to 60?
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying, that's cherry picking data to push that on. Who wants to go 30 k's? But everyone's on scooters then.
That's right. That's what these people want. They want bike lanes and get people off. Get cars off the road.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about Malcolm Roberts a bit later, I believe. But what happens is, that's a big theory of his. Why are the roads getting smaller? Why can't you park? The land plots are getting narrower, so you can't even park out front of your house anymore.
That's right.
I mean, and look at old areas, right? But you can park a car. I can have 2 cars parked out the front of my house, and then my across the road neighbor can have 2 cars parked out the front of the house, and you can still get 2 cars past the street.
Yes.
Try that in a new area. You can't do it.
Yeah. All right, let's look. You're going to love this, Rich. I don't know. You may have seen this already because this is David Limbrick from your party, the Libertarian Party.
No, he's Victorian Libertarian. They're different.
They're different species, are they?
We almost don't speak.
Oh, well. Why am I
That's
not
why you guys only poll it like 2-3%, right?
Even he swears in this video. A sitting member of Parliament in Victoria, he's fed up. But let's see what David Limbrick has to say.
What does it cost for a plaque in Victoria when the government pays for it? Well, apparently in Victoria, it costs $70,000 to fix one. I'm down at Town Hall Station today, and I heard that they had to replace a plaque because they made an error on it. Apparently, it didn't say the Honourable before the Premier's name. Let's have a look at what Victorians got for their $70,000. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Like $70,000 for that? I can tell you it's not made out of gold. How much does it cost for?
Did you see the other take for that one?
No.
Where some guy goes, it's. I don't know if there's a second part to that.
No, I
and he
don't know.
goes, I can do it for like $5,000 or so. Like not even. Some sign guy comes up or something like the Clark guy, and he just goes, "Oh, here's one," and it was like cost you nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. Where is that money going? And it's going somewhere.
It could be
people are making money out of
but
it.
it could be a lot of red tape.
That's right. Yeah, that's the problem, and that's why you get work. That's why you don't want things going through government.
Oh, but you know, like, as a contractor or as a worker, right? If you're going to do work in government buildings and stuff like that, you got to go to a training session. You got to do a toolbox.
That's
this.
right.
You got to do all your bloody paperwork. You have to have your swims and all the like. That all takes time. Okay,
But is it necessary? I mean, if we're talking about cutting government spending, and that's what the question was, how do we cut government spending? Isn't this isn't this one of the things that you would look at first and go, okay, so it costs us $70,000 to just fix a plaque, not even
make one,
not even build one. Maybe they had to rebuild. I don't know, but it's still an incredible amount of money. Maybe this is something that we need to look at. And look, eliminating $70,000 is not going to impact taxpayers because
but if it doesn't still, if it's 30 instances
in the whole scheme,
but that's $70,000 over every little thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's right.
What about when they replaced the glass sliding doors at Parliament House? It was some ridiculous.
No, there was a estimates committee in Senate. Jess Collins from the Liberal Party
change a light globe.
How to change a light bulb
on a military base?
On a military base, you got civil engineers in the military.
Tactical engineers blowing up bridges, and they're not allowed to change a
not
light.
allowed to touch a light bulb because someone had to get someone to come here through red tape, and they couldn't produce. Still give us how much did it cost?
Mahesh says that's local and state government. So still not happy with our answer. So let's play a federal government clip. So this is Matt Canavan in one of our parliamentary committee asking, I don't know.
Jess Collins one. Jess Collins from the upper. She's the Liberal member for Senator for New South Wales.
Well, this is Canavan.
Yeah, okay.
Do we need to invest to get to net zero?
So I'm not sure exactly what question you're asking over what time frame. I was making
the goal
general,
is net zero by 2050, so that's the time frame.
That's right. And between now and then, there's a lot of private investment that will take place.
I'm only asking, didn't you just do a modelling exercise?
Yeah, we did. So
how much? What's the figure?
So I'm not sure whether we have a figure of the total amount of investment, but it's also, I'm not quite sure how meaningful the question is. Some of this investment is government, some of this investment will be private sector. In fact, the vast majority of it will be in the private sector.
I'm asking for both because presumably the modelling exercise looked at the whole economy. So how much capital investment is required to get to net zero by 2050?
Dr. Heath, do we have a figure on that?
So it depends exactly how you're asking the question. So the modelling exercise, as we discussed at the last estimates, was designed to understand the path to net zero. The baseline of what would happen if we didn't have the target is not something that was part of the exercise.
So you can't tell me, despite all the modelling that was done and the spruiking the government's done of it, you can't tell me how much money Australia has to spend to get to net zero by 2050. How much do we need to invest?
And they won't tell you because look at the Snowy Hydro too for a perfect example. Turnbull came out and said it was going to be $2 billion. Now they're saying it's going to be $42 billion.
42.
And they're not,
still counting.
And it's only 60 to 70% complete. So if you're looking at ways of cutting spending, I mean, look at projects like that and go, what the hell went wrong? And that doesn't include the whole net zero rollout, the wind turbines, the solar panels, the high voltage transmission lines, which they often don't.
That's not even funded. That's not even calculated.
Reducing cattle herds and all that sort of stuff like that. We ain't started.
Oh, there's one thing we learned when we went as well, right? Is that cattle that grazes near or on those farms, right, can't be sold overseas. You can't sell those for meat overseas.
Well, Shay says that the Snowy Hydro 2, the TBM, which is known as Florence, is stuck again. That's incredible.
Drilling hole, yeah.
Well, I've got a friend who's driving workers to and from, and apparently the first borer that got stuck, they'd already made all these precast linings for the tunnel.
Yeah.
And the second one was slightly different, so they had to break up all the precast tunnels.
Redo it again.
And build cast new ones and transport them there as well.
Yeah.
And that's real net zero for you on that's all cast in on diesel, transported with diesel. They're
Yeah.
concrete, so that's all concrete. So
yeah.
you're breaking down all that concrete.
Yeah.
It even costs. Don't forget the diesel you got to use to break down, or the coal and that to break down concrete and even to recycle it.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Massive expense.
Net zero zero, literally a zero. It's
zero common sense.
Never going to
as
work.
Canavan
It's
says.
never going to work. Zero common sense.
Net zero common sense.
Yeah.
Now Sam already gave us some polling. So this was actually put out by One Nation a couple of days ago. This was on the 13th of July, so almost a week ago.
Yeah.
Now the narrative is that the One Nation vote is softening. Well, this poll that they've put up on Facebook shows that 5.5% swing to One Nation, and they're up to 28%.
Is that Morgan or Ozpoll?
So this
Morgan, yeah.
So okay, Sam, and you've just told us about the news poll, which now has One Nation up to 30. My big question to you is, with so much anger that we've just seen directed towards Labor, they're the ones in government, in federal governments, they're in a lot of state governments around
local governments
around Australia, local government. Yes, Adam, they're right around the country.
Yeah.
Why is there more? Like, how come if One Nation is picking up these votes, how come it's not coming off Labor? I know it's coming off the Liberals. How come there's not more baseball bats out for Labor? Or have they already hit the bottom of the barrel? That 30% figure, maybe that's the bottom, the bottom figure. Maybe that's all the public servants out there that love
that's
all the
factory,
taxation.
that's
I mean,
right,
do you think that's a fair comment?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of, if you're a public servant, you vote Labor or Green.
Well, because that
you're in a public sector union, so but that's only a very small part of the population.
Well, I mean, it's up growing all the time,
It's
mate.
growing all the time.
All the time. Maybe that's 30%.
I mean, a lot of it's concentrated where it's not that relevant. Like
public service.
I mean, there's 3 seats in Canberra, big deal.
Well, I know
that's a couple of 100,000 public servants.
There was a commentator in Adelaide who did an assessment of the South Australian election, and they said the only reason why One Nation didn't win some more seats in the northern suburbs of Adelaide was two parts: Malinowskis' popularity and public servants.
Yep.
Well, that begs the question, right? We've talked about all of this stuff. We've tried to add some little solutions in there, what we could save money on. But with this rampant taxation that's going on, as I called this podcast, Labor is taxing us into oblivion. The next big question is, who's coming to save us? Because back in the past, we had Peter Costello and John Howard, who
the cavalry.
Fixed the economy and got us back on back in the back on track. I mean, I don't hear government saying that anytime soon. So I'm going to go through some personalities. I've got 10 here. We can talk about a few more if you guys think of some. Maybe people in the chat may think of some as well that you want us to discuss. If you want to call in and give us your opinion, you can hit that link to StreamYard as well. But the first one I've got, if they are at 30% in the polls, Pauline Hanson. I mean, Adam, what do you think about Pauline Hanson? Do you think that she's the savior, or she could lead a government that could really turn things around?
I think it's the start of something. That's what I think. I think that it's going to take. I still think that you would need One Nation would need to have complete dominance in both houses for two terms before people would see the benefit. And my back question to you to this is: are people willing to pay to fix the economy? Because
they're going to have to. Because what are
the price of not fixing it?
Well, but people don't think like that.
But they're already paying.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They're already
they
paying
think about
through
what
higher
they don't
taxes,
right?
They think about what they don't want more than they think about what they do want.
Yeah.
I think. Well, that's right. I think about it like this: if you were to make the argument to the Australian people and say, "Hey, look, we're going to have to go through some short-term pain to get the budget back on track," I think they would accept that more than going down the path that we were going.
Oh, I agree with that, because I remember that speech. Funnily, I was super young when
1996
Costello and John Howard. When I remember seeing that. And he goes, tax cut for you and a tax cut for you kind of thing, right? And I was just starting the workforce. I was just in the workforce then. And I can tell you that the 4 years after that was the most money I ever earned, okay, at any point in my working career since.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was I was I had finished my trade, or I just got finished my trade, or got finished my trade, and I went into I was actually I went to superannuation, then I went into factory work after that. So I did a short stint. So I've done a lot of different things. But that last year in the factory I was at,
this is in the 90s, late 90s,
right? That factory work that I did,
yeah.
I promise I only worked my 8 hours. I never did overtime. Okay, and I never lived better than I did that in that era. Okay,
But who's going to come and give us those conditions?
So I do think. Okay, One Nation
well,
can
Ron,
do it. I believe One Nation can, and I believe they will do it.
Ron is in the chat. Ron says Hanson has an IQ of less than 80.
Yeah, but she's not the economist for the party, mate. Okay, so she's the front for the party, and she runs the party, and she owns the party, or whatever it is, and however it works. Okay, she's not making financial decisions and economical decisions. Okay, she's the name of the game.
That's the point. It needs to be a team,
right? So it's a team. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something.
So what makes this guy's opinion more important than, say, Gina Reinhardt or all the other people that support Pauline?
Who are you talking about?
This guy.
Yeah,
I think it's a silly comment.
Yeah,
but if everyone goes, IQ of a peanut, IQ of a walnut, mate, she's been in Parliament, and you were probably still in your nappy. So what happens is, you can't say that. I don't understand what.
Well, what about
if you're gonna hit with facts?
Well, Turnbull and Rudd were geniuses. And they're awful prime ministers.
Yeah. Worst prime ministers ever.
Intelligence doesn't imply competence.
No, but common sense does. Because guess what Pauline's done? She's run a fish and chip shop.
Yeah.
She's employed people, and she actually understands what it is to grind. Okay, do you own your own business? 100 hours a week plus. And I'm going to tell you something. You turn up and you're sick. You got to keep working. Yeah. Okay, I worked this morning. Okay, and I still had other stuff to do and be a dad. And then I had to come here, and I wanted to come here and celebrate here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens is I haven't slept for 48 hours, and I'm going to go home and get 4 hours sleep, and I've got to go to work tomorrow. Yeah. So I can't call in sick. So I just don't like the silly. I just don't like dumb comments like that.
No, it's just faux superiority, and it's not terribly attractive. And it's like, find the good in people, not the worst.
Well, that's right. Yeah. And I got to tell you, Pauline's been. I don't know. I've met Pauline. I've eaten dinner with her. Right. I don't know if anyone knows this, but my wife's a coloured person. She's from South Africa. Okay, so her and Pauline had beers together. But my wife, coloured, okay, got on better with Pauline than I did, who was her candidate. And I'm not saying I didn't get on with Pauline. I'm just saying that they got on like a house on fire. So everything that you see in the media, every little crap thing, okay, think about it twice, okay, because I even still don't believe every single thing that I see about Albanese, and I don't like the guy at all, okay? And we had that comment, that podcast last week.
Well, you're wrong about that. You should believe it all.
And
more.
Yeah, but you know what? But I still give benefit. I still try to find the good in people too, right? So he was ripped about that.
Give up.
He was ripped about that comment he made about those women.
I feel
okay.
And I'm going personally, I think it's disgraceful.
I agree, but what I'm saying,
he was being a toddler in a prime ministership.
I agree that he shouldn't have done what he did. But then what happens is,
but that's hubris from 94 seats.
But he's trying to be. But he's just trying to be like a cool cat, and he's not a cool cat. And that's a simple fact.
He's a baby
he's a weirdo trying to be cool.
I don't know. Look, I don't know in person to make those comments. I can only react to what I see and hear on TV.
What about innocent bystander says you'd think Pauline would have her policy sorted after 30 years?
She's not a policy person.
We can't see the detail yet.
You never see policy detail. It's got to be funded through Treasury. It has to be. It has. What do they call it?
Parliamentary
budget
off.
Budgeted. It's got to be budgeted. Okay. Guess what? When you're a minor party, you don't get to free reign of the Treasury to get it budgeted. Okay. I think you can do two or three a year or something like that. So what happens is, don't forget too, Albanese has made it super, super hard for the minor parties to do what they need to do. Okay, they've cut their staffers. Okay, so Albanese got like 30 or 40 staffers, and One Nation has like 2 or 3.
That's right.
I mean, so they're doing the same. Don't forget too, right? When you're a small party, right, you're working twice as hard as what the big guys are doing, because guess what? You're doing everything. So probably Pauline reads more policy than our Prime Minister himself does.
Yep. Can I just say something?
Sure.
If you're polling 30%, you think you're going to win 30 or 40 seats. What they've got to do,
They've got to find the right candidates.
Agreed.
Well qualified candidates.
Agreed.
So they can implement some of the policies or write policies while they're in Parliament.
Agreed.
If they have the word people saying they're going to be in government or be in government in 2 years' time, which is that will be like it'll make Gough Whitlam look like a great government.
Yeah.
I just think what they've got to do is if they're polling and win 30 or 40 seats, and those 30 or 40 people who get into Parliament try and form policies over the next 3 or 4 years after that.
Well, they've got policies, right? They just need what they need to do is work out the details.
That's right.
Okay, and then figure out a way to implement them.
Yeah. Okay. Ron says, I can't believe we have one nation cheerleaders. We need conservative political representation. Well, then,
oh my God,
what are you talking about? Give us some examples. I mean,
who else is conservative?
It's easy to complain about things, but give us some solutions, mate. I mean, if there's people out there we need to talk about, then put it in the chat. We want to hear about it.
Can I say something?
Who's better?
I'm a Libertarian Party member. I'm not a One Nation cheerleader.
I'm not in One Nation either. I'm not cheering for them.
It's like, but give credit where credit's due. They have increased their vote from 6% to 30%.
By saying the same thing pretty much since 1996. Okay, so everyone's saying policy's not set. Well, guess what? They don't change their position.
My good friend says Gina Reinhart can pay for the budget costing. Absolutely no excuses for One Nation RE accountability.
Why should she? It's not her job.
And Shay says Trippy needs to run. Well, where am I going to run? Which part?
He's going to run away. He has to run away, mate. It's too hard for me.
Give me a place to run. And I'll do it.
Give him a home.
I'm happy to do it. I'd love to get in there, but I need a home first. Next one, Richard. I was talking to you about this man through the week, Angus Taylor. Is he going to save the day?
No. I saw him speak at the Sydney Institute Thursday a week ago.
Oh, you went to that, did you?
Yep, I did. I was there. He spent a third of his time attacking One Nation, which was unbelievably dumb.
Agreed.
You know, it's like instead he spent the rest of his time talking about economics, which was interesting to me. I think it put a lot of other people to sleep.
Do you think he's saying the right things, though?
No. He's not a leader. He's not an inspirational leader, that's for sure.
Do you think he's just chipping away? I mean, look at
He might be a good treasurer.
But well, he wasn't during the election campaign. He was.
There's an opposition spokesman. He didn't have his hands on the reins.
Yeah. Well, Shay says Angus is as weak as water. So that's the perception out there.
Well, compared to his wife, definitely.
Okay.
His wife's a top.
All right. Does anyone?
I don't know.
Look, I mean, he's been growing on me the more I've seen him speak. I mean, he looks like a prime minister. He has that. I mean,
he doesn't.
That means nothing.
You're a cheerleader.
It means nothing.
Don't call me a cheerleader.
No, he doesn't.
He
have
looks
that
like the part, but it means nothing though.
No, he doesn't have that kind of presence. Sorry, he doesn't have a Jacinta Price's presence, and he certainly doesn't have an Andrew Charlton's presence. He doesn't have it.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got to be honest with you. He doesn't. I don't think he holds a candle to Alex Antic.
Oh, definitely not.
So I think Alex. I think the biggest.
Antic isn't in the lower house.
I understand.
He's not a contender.
No, I know he's a senator, right? But I'm just saying, like, I just don't understand the motivation. I don't understand the motivation. I mean, how did Angus actually get there? Did he just put in enough hours? Is he just there because there's no one else? How did Angus Taylor get to become the leader?
As my father used to say, in the kingdom of the blind, a man with one eye is king.
Yeah, right. All right, the man with one eye. Right, all right. Okay, that's good. I like that.
All right. Yeah, I know I'm a bit of a nerd. There was a poll. Sky News polls came out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And they break down some of the states polling. You know what the Liberal Party are polling in South Australia?
What?
You'd be surprised.
9%?
6?
9?
8.
8.
There you go.
They're One Nation. They've turned into One Nation. They're swapped spots.
2%. I couldn't believe it. The coalition in South Australia. It's not a big number what they poll, but it's a guide. The coalition polling 8%. Alex Andy couldn't win a seat. Won't win a seat.
No, he won't.
Would
they want him to win a seat?
Well, there'd be no Liberal.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think the Liberal Party would want Alex Antic to win a seat.
Probably you're right.
At this point.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Sam, what about this man, Matt Canavan? Is he the hope of the side?
Are they listening in the bush?
Is he in the right party? Should be. I think the Liberals should merge with the Nationals, and And that's the only way.
Does that
Canavan-
help the Nationals? They might help.
Well,
the
it
Liberal
might
Party.
help Canavan survive because I don't think there's going to be too many Nationals left.
Because they've been
in either
too,
house.
they're
The
too flip floppy,
the
aren't they?
There was an article. There was an article in the Australian about the state election.
Yeah,
they reckon the Nationals at the moment on their polling.
That's the New South Wales.
New South Wales election.
Yeah.
They reckon they're going to at this moment they're going to hold 2 seats.
Right. What have they got
Out
currently?
of 94.
I think there's 11.
So they're going to lose 9 seats.
9 seats.
Wow.
They're going to lose 80% of this.
Well, they're talking about federally. A lot of their federal seats, Wide Bay, Flynn, those sorts of seats are in big trouble.
Well, they'll go to
with the
One Nation.
Couple of seats in New South Wales are gone.
They'll go to One Nation. One Nation will work hard out there. And I agree with you. I think if One Nation get the right candidates, okay, put in a good effort, okay, and not just picking anyone who puts their hand up.
Yeah.
I think, and I got it from what I've seen. They've got their branches going. Okay, they're doing proper elections now to elect their candidates through the branches and stuff like that. So there's big changes have happened really, really quick. I remember maybe a year ago after the elections, we were talking about, I was really like, I've never been a libertarian, but I was supporting the libertarians because they started their branches. Okay, they had somewhat of a bit of a jump in their vote.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they capitalized. And I remember I used to say, libertarians capitalized, and I think One Nation needed to do the same thing. Okay, and it took them a little bit longer, but in the end, not only have they caught up, I think they've now started to exceed. They've gone just gone crazy, right? So we're talking about there's 200. Like I think I can't remember the exact number, so please don't quote me. This is just from memory. I think it was between 100 to 200 people went to Campbelltown branch.
Wow.
Or the MacArthur branch meeting.
The biggest meeting.
I think.
Yeah.
Don't forget, a lot of numbers crossed my table. Okay, so I think that was the thing. That's massive.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, the biggest meeting we had at Southwest Sydney branch for the Libertarian Party was about 60 people.
Yeah, right.
So to put that into perspective, and that was one of our biggest branch meetings.
Yeah.
Because normally it's like 20 or 30.
Yeah. Even the ones that what do you call it, the crossroads
Southwest
there
Sydney,
and stuff like that, right? I mean, 20, 30 people, always the same 20, 30 people.
Not
okay,
always.
You might get one or two few bits in there out, but at the end of the day, I've always spoken highly of the libertarians for doing that.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing, and Geminosi, she drives it with the K, and that they would sorry.
Vanessa, yeah.
Vanessa, that they were driving that hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But now, One Nation.
All right. A lot of people talking about Andrew Hasty in the chat. Innocent Bystander says Hasty is damaged goods. So
Yes.
Hasty is on my list.
Agreed.
What do you have to say?
Yeah.
No, don't like him.
Agreed.
Oh well, I will go down fighting its war with One Nation. Stupid. What's a stupid? Takes away. So his military credentials just blew out of the water.
He had already destroyed all that because there's the Bennington report that was the Royal Commission Brereton report. Yeah, so he got involved in all of that, which he didn't need to, and that really compromised his position.
Yeah,
and then he got involved with Ben Robert Smith, which is really dumb.
Stupid.
Right,
that's like a life conversation.
There's an old saying in the Labor Party, never wrestle a pig because you'll get covered in mud, and the pig will love it.
Yeah, that's right.
So he's been pig wrestling, and he's also got. I'm sure that the Labor Party have a dirt file on him like this.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Well, so
he's if he holds his seat, which I think he'll be lucky to do. Then his career is almost over.
There's a by-election in the Western Australian Parliament.
Yeah,
the seat of called Secret Harbour, which is based around Rockingham, Mandurah.
Yeah,
which is
part of his seat,
part of the seat of Andrew Hasty.
Right.
Yeah,
and it hasn't been announced what day it is yet. They haven't done it. But they
didn't know it was going to happen.
That'll be slightly telling.
2 weeks ago.
It's a guide.
A guide.
Just a guide, mate. Just a guide.
So if Liberal bomb, it's done.
And it's a profile. The areas, the electorate is a very hot profile there's a lot of fly in, fly out.
Are the Liberals running or are they leaving it to, they have to oppose One Nation? Yeah, they're going to lose. That's dumb.
I'm saying
that's having a fight that you can't win.
Yes. Let's push through a few more names. Maybe we could do some rapid fire on some of these names because we've still got that Malcolm Roberts news to talk about. Barnaby Joyce.
Yeah.
Good.
I like
He would be a good trade minister. That's about it.
What about treasurer? Because
What about
who's going to be treasurer if One Nation pick up all these?
Jared Rennick?
He's not in
he's
One
not
Nation.
in One Nation.
He's blacklisted.
Well, he's the next name on my list. Jared Rennick. What do you think? No, not going.
Fabulous
Economist.
treasurer or finance minister.
Great
Yeah,
economist.
but how's he going to get elected? And he needs to get elected. Where's he going to go?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the name of the game. I'd love to be a treasurer as well. But where am I going to get elected?
Stephen, necessity is the mother of invention.
Well, we'll find out. Jacinta Price.
Yep. She should be the leader of the Liberal Party because everybody is not listening to the Liberal Party. Hello? Why are you bothering if no one's listening to
Can I
you?
put some? You know what? How good would it be? And I don't know how it would even work. Right? Defects to One Nation. Would that?
She can't.
Well,
She can't-
that's One Nation all over.
She can't
Why?
because she's a senator, not a member, and
She can still
has
go to One
stand
Nation.
every three. You're presuming that she would be able to win a Senate spot for One Nation in the Northern Territory,
But Richard,
or move.
if the numbers are right, is Jacinta a sure thing winning the Senate spot in
At Labor and Liberal. Liberal's not going to win it.
Look, I mean, it's a big question.
No, but what I'm saying is, don't you think if somehow it could all work?
I don't think she'd get on with Pauline.
No, I don't agree. I completely agree. I don't.
I don't think she'd want to do that dance.
I think that's a bridge that
Will she
was
win?
burned.
Will she win the Senate spot?
Either that or she'll move to the lower house.
Oh, that's going to be tough as well. All right.
Too.
No, it's not. Look, there aren't any easy options around.
No, it's not easy.
All right, let's.
But I like Jacinta. I think she's great personally.
Off the numbers, I'm not sure thing that I can see in the Senate. I can only see the coalition winning probably no more than 6 or 7 seats.
Yeah,
But I think Jacinta would be one to win.
Well, let's talk about.
She could win.
told you this
She
3
could
months
She could win on her own.
Well,
She could win in as an
this
independent.
is the problem because a lot of the best talent in the Liberal Party is sitting in the Senate, like this next one, Alex Antic.
Well, it's more of a reflection on the lack of talent. in the White House.
Well, that could be.
Mate, I want him.
I think Alex,
I don't feel like he's got the ambition to.
Well, we've spoken to him, and I got that impression too. But you know what though? Talk about somebody. He cannot be in favour with his coalition cohort, right? How he speaks out and what he talks about. He is certainly not a proper Liberal. As it stands, he was a proper Liberal probably in Menzies' time, but not now. Okay, and I think
Jay says love Antic. He's orange on the inside.
I agree, 100%. I think I said to him, right? I think I said to him, why aren't you in One Nation?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, and I also sorry.
He does protest a lot.
And I said to him as well.
No,
I think
I'm
I
not
said to
doing
him.
it.
I said, why don't you run for Prime Minister? And he goes, well, you know, I'd like to see my family. You know what I mean? Like, but in saying that, but you know what? That's what we want, though. We want a leader who doesn't want to lead.
Absolutely.
That's the perfect leader. That's what I'm saying.
when the coalition again 8% in South Australia, he's got to look, and it's 32 on the
He's
other
going to
side.
be looking.
He's going to be looking.
But I've got
he leaves politics.
I'm a big believer in like I like looking people in the eye. Okay, so we can talk about what we see on TV and stuff like that. And I guess in my position, Stephen's position, even you guys, we get to see people and speak to them face to face, and that's how we read. We're genetically designed to be able to read people, right? Okay. Malcolm Roberts, I trust the words. I can't fault the man. Okay. Alex Antic, we had a 5-minute conversation with him. Can't fault him. Jacinta Price, I've had a 5-minute conversation with her. Can't fault her either. Sure. Same with Pauline and whoever else we've spoken to. You know what I mean? So when you get to when I talk about
John Ruddick,
again, you know what I mean? Like really top people.
Yep.
I wish that they could come together and then you would have a killer party, right? That you would want to lead the nation.
I got 2 more names, some
Sorry,
interesting ones maybe. This one, a lot of people put their faith behind him. I think he's a bit of a clown.
Who?
Clive Palmer.
No.
He's an egomaniac. He's the same as Kevin Rudd and Malcolm Turnbull.
So no faith in Clive.
He's a menace.
He's a menace.
He's just a menace. He's a menace, and he can't work with anyone because he just needs to be, loved the whole time.
No, but start a party, run a party, and keep it going. Don't just drop in and out, drop in and out, drop in and out.
He's not a worker or a starter or a creator. He's a destroyer.
He's a
blows things up.
Yeah. Last one. This one's going to be interesting because it's going to feed into our next discussion. I know Sam's going to like this one. Mark Latham.
He is
a towering intellect.
He's a flawed genius.
He's a flawed genius.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I wish he's the sort of bloke.
Hey, he's still in there for 4 years. There's a lot of time.
He's still be a bloke that if he worked as a political consultant, and formulate policy, that's the sort of person.
Should he be contributing more?
No, he's happy what he's doing at the moment.
That's not the.
Should he be going harder?
Stephen,
I mean, for the country, it's not just about whether his happiness is fulfilling him. For the country, if the country is in the peril that he's often talking about, shouldn't he be doing more?
Stephen,
yes, but
go.
Yes, but at his age, and we know him personally and stuff like that, he knows where he is in the political side. He ain't going to. He could have gone to Canberra the last 10 years, the last 8 years, and he's not going to go there. He said he's even told me I've been there, done that. I don't want to go back there again.
Okay.
I have this fantasy that God gives me.
Do I want to know
permission
about it?
to take it to execute the Prime Minister and replace him with a man of my choosing. Guess who's my choosing?
Mark Latham.
Really? Mark Latham as Prime Minister?
I think.
It's like
personally, I actually agree.
Yeah.
I actually really like Mark Latham.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think he's powerful.
Yeah.
He can stand toe to toe with Trump.
Anyway.
He can stand toe to toe with Putin. Okay.
Yeah, you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is? He's got this self-destruct button, which is right here, and he just kind of elbows it every now and again.
Well,
that's his problem.
Well, yeah, all of that's great.
Yeah.
Because I would like him to basically oppress the whole Labor Party in the government, and he could do it,
and he would.
And
I'd love to see him in Parliament.
Yeah,
Oh my
I would like to
goodness,
see him as Prime Minister with absolute power, just to kick someone like Chalmers right over the Queensland border.
Because just knowing this man and speaking to him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he can strike fear into your heart.
Oh my!
Terrifying.
He is
absolutely terrifying.
And you know what? And the thing is too, right? He's a great bloke. So he's a great bloke, okay? But politically, the knowledge and his genius in politics, okay? He can out-talk, he can out-policy, he can out-lead, right? Anyone. I think it's actually a sad state of affairs, okay? That Albanese made Prime Minister and he didn't.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Right?
Even Rudd.
That is
to think about.
Rudd was the worst until Albanese, right?
Yeah. Well, think about it this way. If Mark Latham had won that election against Howard, we wouldn't have got Rudd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his health,
we may potentially have
his health,
through a knifing or something like that.
His health was breaking down. He had pancreatitis.
Yeah, well,
who did?
Latham.
Oh.
I mean, he's had some big health issues.
But he's a man who's fit. I still think, and I actually, when I spoke to him, I said I
saw him about 2 months ago. He looked healthy.
He's definitely healthy and fit. He's definitely he's
working out with his son.
Yeah. Yeah, but I just think
I saw him on an Instagram photo of him and his son doing the weight room.
Yeah, I just think he's. I just said to him, I said I just think I was a bit I said it's a bit upsetting that that you never got further. You got pretty far, but I'm disappointed. Right, the Labor Party could be a great party.
I actually voted for him. In 2004.
You would have
against what from instead of Howard. Yeah,
I could.
I got to be honest.
I mean, I was like, Howard has to win this.
I think I do agree. I think that was probably I was in liberal mode then.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his greatest achievement without even being Prime Minister was to was to end the defined benefit pension scheme for politicians.
Yeah.
Which has then burgeoned out through the public service.
Yeah.
And that was never going to happen.
And he stood for the right things for some things. I mean, he was against the Iraq War and I mean things like that. I mean, I think in retrospect,
we all have our bad days.
It wasn't just Latham at the time. It was Simon Crean. He was the leader.
Yeah,
and a lot of people within Labor, the right wing Liberal, the right wing Labor were always against it.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's. Adam spoke about Latham being able to strike fear into the heart of anyone. Well, he's gone after Malcolm Roberts.
Maybe not Malcolm though.
Look, Malcolm is taking hits from
everywhere,
which we will get into. But I want to start with this Latham post, because this ties into experience that Adam and I have had. And we can talk about this, Adam, about the hatred almost that Mark Latham had for...
I won't say hatred.
It was pretty vicious.
It wasn't hatred. I think it's more just...
It's not hate. Hatred's the wrong word.
Just silly.
No. Hatred's no. I think what happens is, I think you're talking about... So Mark Latham is, from my understanding, he's a very paper on table guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what comes across the table, he'll read it, analyze it. He's not worried about what's going on down here. Because when an issue that we might have brought up during campaigning, that we were kind of ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that come across the table.
See, look,
when it comes across his table, he's got an opinion on it.
Yeah. I had an experience. Sam, you were there. We had Mark Latham out to Warringah at the Spit Bridge. We're trying to do a press conference, and Mark Latham was there to campaign with me during my federal election campaign. And I remember federal.
Was it federal?
Federal election. Yeah.
Oh, it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep. So afterwards, I remember him sitting there at a table and he's scoffing into some food, and that's like one of the few first times. I think I'd spoken to him once before, and I'd spoken to him on the phone a couple of times. But anyway, Sam's smiling because he knows what I'm about to say. He asked me about something or other. So I had a candidate forum about to come up, which was the infamous one with Zali Steggall, and I made the mistake of telling Mark Latham that Rod Roberts was helping me prepare for it, and he absolutely...
Malcolm Roberts.
What did I say? Rod.
Yeah,
Malcolm Roberts. Sorry, Malcolm Roberts. Malcolm Roberts was helping me prepare for it because Malcolm had told me that he'd had a meeting with Zali Steggall in which Zali Steggall was trying to get him to support her climate change bill, and she couldn't answer simple questions that Malcolm was asking. So I wanted to know what the questions were. Malcolm was helping to get me those questions so I could use it on the night. And I told Mark Latham this, thinking that they're in the same party. It's all going to be good. And he just exploded and started, swearing and saying that F and this. He can't stand Malcolm Roberts. And I remember reading a book recently. Damien Costas, who you've seen speak recently, wrote a book. I think it said "What Happened to the Lucky Country." I think is the name of the book.
Got the book. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mark Latham wrote the foreword. Now he's writing a foreword to a book. It's got nothing to do with for Malcolm Roberts, but he took the opportunity to throw barbs at Malcolm Roberts if anyone wants to read that book. But he's also done that on Facebook as well, in light of all the media attention that Malcolm Roberts is now getting. So this is the post that he made only 3 days ago. It says, media agendas. Malcolm Roberts has been pushing zany conspiracy theories since he was first elected to the Senate a decade ago. Yes. But only now are the media scrutinizing them. Why is this? The woke lefty media is as political as any MP. Alarmed by the rise of One Nation in the polls, they have decided to fight back by outing Roberts. That is, they only do their job when it suits their political agenda. Roberts was allowed to go on his merry way for 10 years before any journalist, in quotation marks, got off their bum and held him to account. So that seems pretty tame.
But I don't actually think
that's tame to what he's told us.
But that's more of an attack at the media,
all right,
than at Roberts.
Okay, all right. Pretty.
I'm not saying it's not an attack at both, but it's an attack at the media, saying, "Hey, this guy's been calling out kooky ideas for how long, and you've let him walk on it.
Okay.
Now they've raised, and now you're starting to call him out on it."
All right. Well, 3 hours later.
Oh, okay.
He posted this.
Oh, shit. All right. But I'm trying to defend you here, Mark. I know you don't need me to defend you, but I'm trying to just go, hey, wait a minute. Like, you can take it away. And
You're
I can,
right. He doesn't need you to defend.
No,
he doesn't want anyone.
I know
to
he
do it.
doesn't want me. I know that.
He wants a reaction from
I get
people.
that. No, I get that. I know I get that, but I'm just trying to say, hey, I'm trying to put in a bit of perspective here, right? And now let's see what happens here now.
All right. So he says, Mark Latham posting on Facebook says, more on Malcolm Roberts. When I joined New South Wales One Nation in 2018, Senator Roberts came down from Queensland to interrogate me in Sydney. He was insistent that every Labor Party decision was ordered by the United Nations. I explained to him that as a federal Labor MP, front bencher and leader, I never received any orders from the UN. In fact, I thought the influence of the UN had never been weaker, especially under Trump.
Yep.
Faced with this evidence and typical of conspiracy thinking, Roberts paused, his tiny mind ticking over, and he said, "Oh, they didn't tell you." Seriously, I was leader of the ALP. The UN was supposed to be running us, yet I never received the memo. There was simply no point in trying to reason with Roberts. I cringed every time he came south of the Tweed. There was this bizarre political world of conspiracy theory. Oh, sorry. Where has this bizarre political world of conspiracy theories come from? Blaming the UN, WEF, WHO, chemtrails, Zionists, smart cities, Port Arthur, gun laws, etc., for controlling the decisions of democratically elected MPs and governments. Politics and society have changed rapidly this century with the leftist march through institutions. The changes have been complex and for many people bewildering. Simple minds, not surprisingly, have looked for one simple explanation for the changes: a powerful body behind the scenes controlling all political decisions, such as the UN. In truth, the lefties in Australia don't need a memo from the UN or WEF each day to know what to do. They believe strongly in their own local agenda of climate change, gender fluidity, virtue signaling, cancel culture, etc. The changes are complex, as are the parties and people implementing them. To fight back and save Australia, we need thinking to understand a lot more intelligent and sophisticated than the simplistic conspiracy theories of Malcolm Roberts. So that's Mark Latham on his former One Nation colleague. I mean, reading that, hey, I've seen him say that stuff to me. And in fact, during the 2020,
that's pretty tame.
Oh, I think that's
that's pretty tame to what he said in the private.
Is that not fair commentary? I think Malcolm Roberts would look at that and go, well, that is his opinion of me.
Yeah.
Whether it would change his thoughts on stuff like that. I also know Malcolm Roberts thinking that he only bases his theories and what he says really kind of on facts and information that he knows.
Well, there's a real blood feud between Jared Rennick and
Malcolm Roberts.
There is definitely.
Because no, that's what's prevented One Nation from taking in Jared Rennick.
Yeah.
Innocent bystander says, I believe Roberts is correct on all of those agencies. So, look, I mean, that ties into the next round of articles I'll bring up on the screen.
Yeah.
Adam, you wanted to say something?
Oh, just on that, the problem is that there's no real substantial evidence to prove any of it. So even Malcolm Roberts said that he can't find any substantial evidence to prove that chemtrails happen. So he was on about chemtrails for so long, and then he did a podcast or an interview with the pilot.
Graham Hood.
Graham Hood,
yeah.
And then and Graham Hood so Graham's like, I believe that chemtrails happen, but in saying that, I don't believe that it's happened.
No, he doesn't believe in chemtrails. I've spoken to him privately. When I went on his podcast, we were talking before the show. He was rabbiting on about how he doesn't believe in chemtrails.
So it's been, even though chemtrails have been patented, it doesn't mean that it's being done. Okay, so as I'm saying, right, like, every conspiracy theory might have, it has to be proven.
Well, look, this all started with this Sydney Morning Herald article here. And it says, fresh condemnation of Malcolm Roberts over notorious anti-Semitic mural post. So I read this and was like, huh, what?
How's he anti-Semitic?
So it says, One Nation Senator Malcolm Roberts shared an image of a notorious anti-Semitic mural on his social media, described as the most powerful pic I've ever seen, as his repeated promotion of conspiracy theories was condemned by Jewish leaders. Now, they're talking about this, its image that he shared, which is known as the Freedom for Humanity mural, which is in the UK, or was in the UK until it was removed. People like Allegra Spender have come out and called for Malcolm Roberts' resignation over anti-Semitism over this image. And what I've noticed is a lot of these articles, I mean, there's plenty of articles. There's a 9 News article. There's a Guardian article. A lot of them are saying we're not going to show the image because it's so anti-Semitic and so horrible. I went digging for this image, and lo and behold, I've got it right here. And people might be thinking to themselves, well, how did Stephen get this beautiful photo printed so quickly when he only just found out about this today? And I'll bring it up on the screen of what the mural was. I actually had this on my wall many years ago. When I first moved into Parramatta, I was looking for artwork to put on the wall. I mean, I only had some small frames, and I got a whole bunch of it offline and printed it up. And that was, instead of going out there and paying huge amounts of money for artwork, that's what I got. So this is the mural. I had no idea that this was supposedly an anti-Semitic image. I walked past this image plenty of times in my unit in Parramatta for 8 years that I lived there. I never looked at it and thought to myself, this is anti-Semitic. It just looks like a whole bunch of bankers sitting there playing Monopoly on the backs of the workers.
Yeah, on the backs of the workers, right?
So, no. According to people like Allegra Spender and a lot of the journalists out there, this is an anti-Semitic image, and Malcolm Roberts should resign from his position in Parliament because he posted this image. And if you hear from the artist, a bloke called Me One, he's been accused of being anti-Semitic, and he says, "No, I'm not anti-Semitic. This image it's got nothing to do with Jewish people. It just shows that the elites are controlling the masses."
Yeah, but it does give you like anti-Semitic caricatures as the main characters.
But most of the bankers, the Rothschilds, I mean, the Rothschilds were Jewish.
Yeah.
Supposedly there's bankers out there. I mean, there's other bankers out there like the Morgans and the Rockefellers that weren't Jewish.
Yeah.
But the Rothschilds are really the head of the snake when it comes to central bankers and bankers out there.
It's the first to set up an international banking system.
And they were Jewish. So don't you think there's a historical...
there's been a historical commentary on it.
Yeah. But you're half Jewish. Do you look at that image and think that's anti-Semitism?
It could be interpreted that way.
Yeah, but interpretation and being that way is two different things, right?
Well, it's not an openly anti-Semitic thing, but there's a lot of implication.
But you can turn around and go, well, that's
remember, I've seen more of this stuff than you have.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but then you can go, well, then I could turn around and say, like, this is not something that this is something that, when I'm a bit of an artist, everyone knows I'm a sign writer.
Yeah.
Okay, we had to do stuff at art school in year 9, and I did a picture of whales fishing for humans as I was obviously a greenie back then. Do you know what I mean? So what's the difference?
Well, I think I said it before. It's
just an interpretation.
It can be interpreted.
But would you
but
look
it
at
can be
it?
interpreted as anything? I can be interpreted as a woman if I want to be.
This takes me back to high school when we would interpret poetry.
Yeah.
And the teacher would be up there going, "Oh, well, the writer meant this and the writer meant that." And then one day she said, "Oh, well, the writer was actually asked about an interpretation." He said, "No, I didn't mean that at all."
That's right.
And she said, "But that doesn't matter. What matters is the interpretation."
Yeah, but everyone would interpret it differently.
Yeah, but if the artist is saying, "No, it's not anti-Semitic, I wasn't trying to paint that," and everyone's saying, "Yes, it is anti-Semitic," and people like Allegra Spender are getting on her high horse and saying Malcolm Roberts should resign because of this image.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, when they were talking about this, and I'm reading the articles, and they're not showing it, they're going, "It's so anti-Semitic, we can't even post it." I'm like thinking to myself, is he showing a portrait of the Holocaust with Nazis shooting Jews or something like that? Like, it must be some horrible image, and I can't imagine Malcolm Roberts doing that from speaking to him personally.
I'm not defending it or advocating it. I'm just saying that it can be seen in both ways.
Don't you think their reaction is over the top?
What's the special candle?
Totally.
What's the special candle that's the Jewish candle? The
16. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. No, I'm not being anti-Semitic here. I'm just trying to give an example. Okay.
If that was in there, then you might have it. But the only thing that's vaguely
this guy?
No. The you could say that the old guys are caricatures of Jews,
But he looks like an
and you
Italian.
could also, there's also a reference there to the Masons as well.
I saw the Masons.
So you could say this is sort of the foundation for sort of, or an illustration of conspiracy stuff, which may or may not be anti-Semitic. So, but it's very close to it.
So my thing would be like, if it was going to be anti-Semitic, right? You would have
some Jewish symbols,
but you'd have the candle, maybe the star.
Yeah, you might have the Star of
and
David or
just
something
things like that, right?
Yeah,
this is open to interpretation, I
Yeah,
guess. But all
yeah.
art is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not saying that you're saying anything against. I'm just.
Well, I'm as I said, I'm not going to advocate that.
Well, what about this comment from Shay? Because I think this is a very, very good comment from Shay. She says, which is it? One nation is owned by Israel, or are they anti-Semitic?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was. That's the first thing that came to my head. Like, what they're meant to be, Jewish everything, pro-Jewish, and then they're all of a sudden being accused of being anti-Semitic. I mean, far out.
The ultimate validation of your position is when you're attacked from both sides.
That's right.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what I was saying about all this press that's now hitting Malcolm Roberts. So before let's say One Nation weren't really a threat. Malcolm Roberts wasn't really a threat. Okay. Now all of a sudden, right? They've got a bit of gossip. He's a target now. I mean, they would be loving it in their show. They would be loving it in their offices, going, "This is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Any bad press is good press."
Yeah.
Well, no, you know what they'd be relieved of now? That news poll that came out now.
Yeah. Right.
That would be a light relief.
Yeah.
That would be relief.
That's true.
They wouldn't say it's over, but because the mainstream media will still keep going now.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah.
And what I'm worried is what more have they got to come out over the next 2 years?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's the fact of the matter is, I mean, it's all on public record anyway.
Yeah.
It's nothing that is not being not said.
Well, this has really blown up in the media. As I said, there's been multiple articles put out about this, and also other conspiracy theories of Malcolm Roberts. I mean, they're talking about how he went on Alex Jones and was praising Alex Jones, and now Alex Jones was convicted and bankrupt because of Sandy Hook, blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is 9 News. 9 News says calls for One Nation senator to resign after controversial social media post podcast comments. So they're trying to link it all together. Another Sydney Morning Herald article here, which says, Pauline Hanson has momentum. Her biggest challenge is the company she keeps,
and it won't be Malcolm Roberts won't be on that list.
I'd rather keep the company that she keeps than some of the people in the Labor Party and Greens.
Yeah, and another article. This was the Australian came out and said One Nation's most educated politician could become its weakest link, and talking about Malcolm Roberts. So, I mean, these articles are just, these are all from the last few days. It's been a relentless attack on poor old Malcolm, who hasn't, as Mark Latham said, he hasn't really been the spotlight of the media throughout the whole decade that he's been in Parliament. This one from ABC News.
The only time he's been in was the Section 44.
Yeah.
It says, and then Padma Payman still got dual citizenships. How does she even stay in?
Well, what about this one, Adam?
Padma Payman. So he gets booted, and then she's got dual citizenships, and she's still in. What the hell?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What about this one, Adam? One Nation's Malcolm Roberts falsely claimed COVID-19 vaccines caused miscarriages.
Proved they didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
proved they didn't.
That's not something I'd be prepared to take on.
What, to prove that they didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, I guess the whole point of it all is that yes, the media is going to start going after Malcolm Roberts.
That means they're over the target.
They're going to be they're definitely going to be after this poll. Sam, do you think?
Do they double down or they just ease off?
What do you think they've got?
I'll let them double down.
You reckon double down?
It'll make for good podcast.
The more noise they make, the worse they go. Let them go.
Because looking at the moment, I've said to you before we went on, I said
Australia hates whingers. The Labor Party and the Greens are sooks.
True.
I just come back to I wouldn't have done the interview with Tommy Robertson, but that's my opinion. But that's what she's done. There would be a reason behind it. That's all.
I mean, look at what's happened in the UK. So Tommy Robinson called out.
Yeah.
He's touched. I don't want to. RAPE gangs. all those kind of things, right? Okay, like I mean, that all started, like all the exposure started like through Tommy Robinson.
I know.
Okay, like England's, some parts of England are pretty much going to like hell.
I know.
Okay, and then you got a Brit trying to call it out. I mean, he's doing nothing real different to what us, except he's probably got like 20 million followers, and we've got our 1,000 or 2,000.
I mean, just think about all the lowlifes that Penny Wong's met.
Oh,
I mean, just start there.
Hey, I agree with you.
I mean, she has a cup of tea with Tommy Robinson and has a chat with him. So what?
Yeah, so what?
I mean, Penny Wong's flown into Iran and Iraq and met with absolute total scumbags.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm on your side. I
on
agree.
our dollar.
On our dollar. That's the difference.
It'd be interesting if what mainstream media got on Senator Bell and Senator Whitten and the bloke in Farah.
Yep.
I'll let him go.
What about this, Sam?
Well, they tried to hit him because he sat in the wrong part of chambers and then voted wrong, which is,
that's I'd say that he's smarter than that. He should never.
Well, that's but you know what?
But Adam, come on, if you're sitting next to a Green on
Oh no, I agree with that. But the probably thing, the thing is, you probably didn't know who the Greens were.
Yeah, it could be true.
No, I think that when you're a new member of Parliament, you think that every member would have the decency to shake your hand.
Yeah. All right, let's finish with this because we have gone long. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, which could potentially be the longest podcast that we've done. But
started yet?
We've been
it's just a normal conversation for us, isn't it? Pretty much.
We could go for another 2 hours if we wanted to. This is on the Sydney Morning Herald article, Sam, and I know you're going to comment on this. They also put this line in here: there is growing speculation within one nation. I don't know where they're getting the speculation from. Noting the 71-year-old's declining physical health. They're talking about Malcolm Roberts. That Roberts could now fall on his sword before the next election and be replaced potentially even by Hanson's longtime chief of staff, James Ashby, which is what you've been saying for quite a while now.
That's
Sam.
right. And we know his health isn't good. Like the other day, I saw he was at a news conference, last month or two, and you could see he was shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been shaking for quite a while now.
I think it's more than you can feel it. You can see him shudder. No,
yeah.
Have you noticed it too? Didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but
look,
one thing.
He's not a well man.
No. One thing Pauline won't do. He won't force him out.
No, she won't. She won't.
Because he's been too loyal to her for the last 10 years.
Well, let him take a lower house seat.
No.
Take a backwards seat, backward step.
Wouldn't it be harder to work in that? Then you have to go to branch meetings
and go to
lower house seats will be falling into One Nation's lap in Queensland. It's like he'll have to pick one.
And then they'd have to give him a ministry if they won a lot of seats. And
no, they can give him a nice easy time.
I don't think he'd want it. I think he works too
No,
hard.
I think last time one of the times we had a conversation, he goes, I know I'm not going to be in Parliament forever.
Yeah.
And he said, all I'm trying to do is the most I can.
I don't
while
think
I'm
he's
there.
interested in retirement. I don't think he's interested in taking it easy. I think he's interested in fixing the country.
Yes, I do.
And if he wants to leave that legacy where, his health will suffer from working so hard.
He'll do it.
Yeah, he'll do it.
He'll do
But
it.
he'll get to a stage his health won't be good enough.
Yeah.
Well, but he'll do it I think he'll do it to that point. I think he'll do it to that point. Whether he wants to or not, I think he will.
I hope he doesn't want to die with his boots on.
Well, that's what happens in the US Senate.
Yeah.
Look at those couple of those senators that think they went to 89, 90 years old.
Yeah.
And they had one or two of them had dementia or had
Look at Fred Nile. Fred Nile had to be carried out.
Fred was in the nursing home within 4 or 5 months of leaving Parliament.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
As
Royal
far as I know, he's still he's got full blown dementia.
Yeah.
The Royal Navy had, I think, five vice admirals or admirals of the fleet before World War II, and 3 of them worked themselves into the grave trying to prepare the Navy for World War II. And they were the smartest of them all too.
Yeah. All right. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed this one tonight. Everyone's stuck with us in the chat and also watching us. So thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the new atmosphere and the discussion. I hope you boys have enjoyed it. You seem to.
It's been really first podcast without headphones.
And how have you found it?
Disorientating?
Little bit. I found it hard the first half an hour, 3/4 an hour, trying to listen to you. I just couldn't. with a headset on, you could hear everything you're saying clearly.
Yeah.
Well, I just had troubles trying.
Well, we can always go
Next
back.
time you can sit here.
No, I don't think that'd be the case. I just think I just want to make sure what you're saying. I think with headsets, you know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, well, we can go back to the headset.
I can speak louder.
No, I don't think. Maybe we should have. You probably can't see, but we've got a door open here. Maybe we should have the door closed.
No one cares about this, Sam. People sitting at home don't give it.
They think it's Sam being Sam.
It is Sam being Sam. That's why we love him.
Should make a shirt.
Yeah, Sam.
Sam being
We've done that before.
There's plenty of shirts we can make about Sam. But thank you, everyone, for sticking with us. We do hope that you've enjoyed it. If you want to follow us, please head to commandthenarrative.com and hit the sign up button and get the updates when I get time to do them. Hopefully, I will have more time now that this is finally built, and I can devote some time back
It's
to
a great job.
things.
Well done, Stephen. Fantastic little.
Thank you to my dad as well,
Yes.
who helped me along the way. And also, please, if you want to help out in this studio, please support us and buy me a coffee as well. It would help a lot. I'm pretty much maxed out in terms of spending any more money, but I think it's been well worth it. And as I said, we can hopefully do way more panel discussions like this with a whole host of people, not just the boys here tonight, but hopefully whole people. I guess it will have to be mainly people in New South Wales and Sydney, but who knows? We may get guests pop by, and it's going to be very interesting. So hopefully you all join us for this journey ahead. But for now, we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.